Alright, welcome everyone to the first edition of Team Serendipity's 5v5 tournament. So, this is pretty exciting. We've done a lot of 1v1s in the past, but this will be really our first 5v5 tournament, at least since I joined, which was really a while ago now. So, that's exciting to start.
Absolutely.
We are here right now. This will be a game between. Get this. Is it this? Which game is this? The game we're watching now is this J55 versus Makeshift Chemistry. What I'm getting. All I know is we got an invite. I'm not entirely sure which teams these are. This will be our first match of the day. Eight teams in this tournament. Yeah, so this will be J55 versus Makeshift Chemistry. And yeah, we are just getting everyone else into Champ Select. One more person should be getting in here, and then we'll be ready to go. Yeah, just waiting for one more person to get into the lobby, and then we'll be set. It will be 5-5 on the left, Makeshift Chemistry on the right, and J55 on the blue side, on the purple side, and we're set. He needs to go to the bathroom. So, slightly less than ready, but almost ready. Alright. So, what do you think? I have to say, I don't know much about either of these teams.
I don't either.
But, I'm sure. Well, I mean, let's hope for a good game, but. Most of all, I'm just excited to be doing 5v5 tournaments.
Yeah.
I have not yet showcased the 5v5 tournament. So, be fun. We did mention earlier, I believe, when we were talking about it, that it was going to be $10 per person plus Rise skins to the top team. We lied. Alright? It is now going to $20 IP per person for the winning team, plus Triumphant Rise. Got $15 per person for the second. No Triumphant Rise though, you only get Triumphant Rise if you come first. Third team, $10 IP per person in the fourth team. So just by winning one game in this, you're guaranteeing yourself bucks of RP per person. Alright, we significantly upped the stakes here in the last week. Touch with Riot. They're all like, yeah, this idea, we like that you're holding the tournament, have some RP to give out, so that's pretty sweet. I mean, so people signed up expecting, $10 RP for first. Now they're getting $10 RP if they finish third. You get double that for a first place win, so some happy people should be going home today, or staying home today, because they're likely playing at home, because that's how these online tournaments work. But right now I'm basically just talking to fill time, because someone's going to the bathroom. I mean, I guess we should talk 3.10 changes, really. I mean, this is going to be the first tournament we've had on 3.10. With the remove bulwark, Aegis and Locket have been changed up a bit. Fresh has been taken down a notch in the early game. What else? What else has there been? Other changes. Elise has been nerfed again because it needs to be nerfed plenty of times. Because that's just the way it works. And we're in a third caster, because why not? We have Deus Ex Macarena here.
Oh, you're streaming, aren't you?
Yes?
Hi, Mom.
Did you not know that?
No.
Okay. Well, we are broadcasting a 5v5 tournament here, Deus. So
Oh, wonderful.
yes. So I guess Deus is not actually really here to.
I'm here to
Yes.
cast.
Okay. Yes, he is. The game is about set. Everyone's ready to go. They're back from their bathroom breaks. Should be starting now. Yes. We are into Champ Select. The bands will be coming out. These teams probably don't know much about each other, so I don't know if we'll see that many targeted bans, unless they start going into their pretty much a standard Twisted Fate ban coming out first. His global presence, actually, that was another one that was nerfed. I was talking about the whole changes, and then a Janna ban. That's an interesting one. That may actually be a targeted ban because typically see a Janna, or they could be running one of those hard engage comps is the plan, and they may want to drop that out right away. Another just the lease ban coming out from J55. Makeshift Gaming, or Makeshift Chemistry, sorry. Dropping out Thresh as well, so Sport's not looking too hot from their perspective. One more ban coming out from Natural PT on J55 in a second. For 8. And it will be a Jace ban, so again, pretty standard, just strong champion bans. Really seems overly targeted. Because obviously this is a bit of a smaller tournament where teams not necessarily have played against each other before. And then now just one more ban coming out from Makeshift Chemistry, and it will be Zach. And then the insta-lock Master Yi. Before this week, I don't think I'm saying that much. Insta-lock Master Yi. Yeah. J55.
I do not agree with that insta-lock.
No hesitation whatsoever.
I would say you would treat him the same as AP, 4th or 5th pick probably. Right now, all they have to do is run, like Malphite would be great, honestly.
They're hovering over. They have Sejuani locked in, and I would expect this Kennen to come out, especially with that first Janna ban. They used their very first ban on Janna, so seeing a Kennen not be surprising at all, because of course Janna, strong against that Kennen, can just knock him away as soon as he starts ulting. So dropping Janna off and then locking in that Kennen, as they do,
that
is not surprising at all.
Rumble open, though.
There's still a couple champions, definitely, that... Well, at least, yeah, definitely Rumble is one of those highest in the LCS varieties, that we've seen. Zed's still open. I mean, there's a few strong. But it will be a Nami and a Lee Sin locked in right now, so... Nami is someone who's really seen a lot of traction lately. They didn't get a lot of play when she first came out. Really took a long time for her to catch on, but now got a little bit of a buff, like her ult got set up because it was painfully slow initially.
It was
really easy to dodge.
Every patch for about 6-7 patches in a row, they tweaked one thing, fixed another thing, buffed something, removed a bug from this thing, and now she's in a good place.
This is a pretty clear comp. Yeah, her E is still less. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at chemistry right now, and they have a clear goal with their comp here. They have a huge AoE comp. Fortune and Malphite, who already Kennen and Sejuani. That is going to be a lot of AoE, needless to say. I would not be surprised to see a Sona last pick, or maybe a Leona. Something along those lines to fill that support slot. And then it will be a Tristana landing with that Nami as well. I guess the mid laner, perhaps? Assuming Lee Sin or Master Yi is in the top. They will be locking the brand for that mid lane. Not much of a... I don't really see much of a comp coming out from J55 here. as much as I see from. Yeah, and there we go, Leona. So the AoE comp continues, going with that AoE ult from Leona as well. We'll see a bit of trading, perhaps. Actually, everyone seems to pretty much pick the champion they're going to play, so not thing going on. There's an interesting thing developing from the blue team here, in that two people currently have Smite. That'll be interesting. Okay, they are trading around a little bit. Okay, no, they're just trolling. Okay, so it looks like it will be Lee Sin jungling, and Master Yi in the top lane. Master Yi having switched Smite to teleport. Alright, so we're about to get into loading screen. Actually, well, I guess we'll first get into the 3-minute delay, where we get to talk about these comps for a bit. So, Daz, what do you think about these comps?
Well, if I could see them, I would tell you if I could see them, but I cannot.
I linked you to the stream.
It is a black screen for me. Oh,
That's
there we go.
good.
Alright, the comps. Oh wow, purple team knows exactly what they're doing. Blue team, I'm a little bit confused on. The only engage they seem to have is a Lucky Aqua Prison or an Insect that Lee Sin can pull, but they don't really have anything besides they've got to fight in the jungle. If they don't fight in the jungle, I don't think they're gonna win these team fights unless they snowball lanes. If Brand ult doesn't bounce around enough, he won't get resets. So, is how he works now. Is before he used to get resets just to do a ton of damage. And now the resets do help with his damage, but they're mostly just so you can't see where he is to lock him down. He jumps around the fight, auto-attacks people, jumps around some more. It's not as much about the damage as displacement.
Yeah, they do have a little bit of thing. Like, they have both the Lee Sin kick and the Tristana buster shot to knock away the cannon or something along those lines. So they do have a bit of disengage. Like, the Nami ult is a pretty strong disengage, too. Mm-hmm. So if they ride out to the initial initiation, assuming that's a lot
they can,
CC,
there's
though.
Leona ults, Johnny ult, Malphite ult, like that is
cannon ult.
That is 4 seconds of stun.
Yeah. So
1.5 seconds of knock-up.
With a little bit of this counter initiation or
if they have it up, they're gonna win. But if they don't have ults up, like the problem is that they don't have that Janna was banned, and so it's basically it seems to be just up to Tristana and Nami.
Yeah.
Like, Lee Sin needs to be able to. I don't think he can afford to use that kick to disengage. He needs to kick somebody in so they can get a reset on Yi.
And I mean, the only real target to kick in is that Miss Fortune, who is, fairly immobile, no natural escape of her own. But like kicking that cannon in, especially if it's Azania's hourglass, that's not something you want to do. Malphite's going to be tanky as heck. Same with Sejuani. So yeah, they really have to get onto that Miss Fortune and eliminate her, because that's the one thing about this comp. I mean, it has a lot of upfront damage, a lot of upfront CC. But really, the only sustained damage after that is going to be that AD carry Miss Fortune. Because Kennen, for an AP mage, once his ult's down, I mean, he still brings some damage with his shurikens and whatnot, but it's not comparable to, what Brand can put out or what a Master Yi can put out. So they're really going to be relying on Miss Fortune, that if they don't initially blow everyone up in that first, giant wave of ultimates, then it may be difficult for them to clean up, which will give the other team, that edge, perhaps.
Yeah,
the
all,
more sustained
all
damage.
AoE team comps like this are inherently weak against split pushing.
That's true as well, Master Yi.
Like,
And
I mean, I'm liking this the Yi, Lee Sin, Tristana picks
yeah, all
because
three pretty good split pushers.
what Yi's going to be doing is Yi is going to be. I like Master Yi mid better, but he's going to be going top against Malphite, so it's not going to be fun for him. But if he can just get that Hydra, which I see most top and mid lane E's going Hydra Bork right now. Once he gets those two items, you can't 1v1 him. Like maybe
Also,
Kennen.
maybe I've seen instead of the Hydra as well, Static Shiv really works with Master getting those crits, especially with that natural AD boost he gets from his E. So I think either of those work.
Yeah,
well.
I would bet that we're gonna see a Hydra coming out just because that auto attack reset's gonna come in handy when you're against somebody who can slow your attack speed down as much as Malphite. But that's up to Master Yi, and we are in the game.
We are in the game.
Standard item builds coming out. Master Yi, Doran's Blade.
Four Doran's Blades coming initially. 2 from either team. Kennen, Misfortune, Tristana, and Master Yi all starting the Doran's Blade. Malphite going much safer. Rejuve bead, back pots with the ward. Then we got Brand and starting something similar, except the Fairy Charm. And then, support's just picking up a lot of wards, largely.
This is not going to be good for purple team right here.
You're
no,
right.
Leona is not going to live through this.
She does misses, she flashes. Well, good flash by her flashing over the wall, avoiding the bubble to escape. So she will survive, but they're still staying around.
It's flash for 50 mana from Nami.
No, you're right. They didn't drop an ignite. I did see the flames out there, but that was his brand, so I thought they had dropped an ignite. And it will be a quick pause. I'll take this time to turn on the game sounds, because I had forgotten to do that.
Master Yi has to take out the trash for his mother or something. But while this is paused, Master Yi, thoughts on the rework?
Are you asking me or saying?
I'm asking you.
Okay, alright, sorry, tough to say. Normally it's my job to ask you, you're the Okay, I'm just kidding. I mean, obviously AP Master Yi is dead, and I have expressed my opinion to you of that, in that I am extremely grateful AP Master Yi is dead, because I, like you, enjoy the ARAMs, and I enjoy the ARAMs much less when there's an AP Master Yi really on either side. They pretty much take over the game and they're really boring. So that's good. I like what they did with it ultimately. I'm still not convinced that melee AD carries outside of Tryndamere are significantly viable. But if one was, this Master Yi rework really has everything it should have. That meditate, good for absorbing a bit of damage when he doesn't have any cooldowns or anything, and that the way the Alpha Strike works now, resetting pretty frequently, and really used to avoid damage, because ultimately late game, when he has a bunch of crit and attack damage, Alpha Strike will really be doing less damage overall than just auto attacks will be. But using it to avoid that damage, avoid CC being thrown out, will be really key in the late game team fights if they choose to go in team fights. I mean, obviously Master Yi being an AD carry pushes really fast, and we do have an invade onto this red buff, and
we
have
an invade,
may look to contest. They don't have vision of the buff. They're not even going to look to smite. Okay, they do smite it at the end. It looked for a second like they didn't want to, but then red team had a big display of force, and Lee Sin just smited and walked away. And we do have a lane swap.
I want to take people's vision down to bot lane. This was really smart from purple team here. Malphite, not the best 1v2, but certainly better than Master Yi. I honestly, I don't know how Master Yi is going to be able to deal with a 1v2 situation.
In a 1v2
especially
like this
with Doran's Blade.
Well, yeah.
He wanted to fight against Malphite.
It almost doesn't matter who actually handles the 1v2 better, because Malphite doesn't really need farm. All he needs to do is show up late game, ultimate someone, and then he's set. Like Master Yi, an AD carry, he will really need farm ultimately late game to really do something, but they will be ganking here. Lee Sin will be going down. Leona doesn't have flash, keep that in mind, it was burned initially, and that will be first blood coming from Master Yi
okay,
in that
well,
initial gank.
Lee Sin, of course, since he took the enemy's red, can just run over to his blue, run straight up, and gank at 3 minutes. This is the 3-minute Lee Sin gank that we saw in Season 2, which was really, really frightening. Look at the farm. Master Yi gets that early kill. That's going to make a hell of a difference here.
I mean, we were just talking about how, you know, him not getting farm is going to be a problem, but now he has a kill, he has a free lane, Misfortune's stuck under tower, and he's going to pick up some CS.
Malphite not
actually
really
doing fairly
giving
well.
a shit. Or not caring.
Does have 7 CS already in that 1v2 lane. But hasn't been zoned a heck of a lot.
Lee Sin might get caught out here. Well, nah, he's just going to leave.
He is level 3 to Sejuani's 2. Sejuani did not actually go for that red buff of Lee Sin. So Lee Sin will have gotten 3 buffs this game, compared to just 1 by Sejuani, at least off the bat. So
Master Yi still has to be worried. That is still a Leona. And, I mean, MF's got to be a little bit careful here as well. In a lane with, you know, half health against...
Using
already
a lot of
against First Blood Master Yi, I think she might be trying to push up the wave just so she can go back.
So Master Yi does have that 1 CS lead on the 1v2 Malphite, and now Sejuani's just going to help Malphite hold the lane here.
Not sure you needed... Not sure. Yeah, Master Yi's not going to need Lee to come up for a little while. Brand
and
picking
in the
up
mid
the
lane,
kill.
I was just about to talk about the mid lane because we haven't really talked about that. And Brand takes down Kennen. And we have a kill in the bot lane. Tristana, with help from Nami, takes out Malphite. I hope we caught that on. I don't even know where the stream is.
I'm gonna jump back 15 seconds here. Oh, a great bubble off of Nami. His bubble just caught the edge of Malphite. And
Sejuani taken really
also...
low and will also go down to Tristana. So, wow. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about the comps here.
I don't think it's gonna matter. But
at this rate, it's not gonna matter. Exactly. I mean, up 4-0 already is a 5-5. And, I mean, they're looking to take down this tower right now.
No, he'll be okay.
He is Malphite. So there is that.
Nami taking a couple turret hits.
He is doing the smart thing. I do like what the Malphite has done. Actually gone for the E-Max. I see a lot of Malphites in 1v2 scenarios still go with that Q-Max that you would maybe more typically go in the 1v1. And quite frankly, I think that's a really bad idea.
Master Yi's... he's natural PT here on Master Yi. Oh, Lee Sin. Lee Sin almost dies to gold. Lee Sin almost. But wow. Master Yi are maxing the E, which I'm not sure if I agree with that. I mean, meditate, I understand, it's a Leona lane. If you meditate somewhere, you're sitting duck.
You're gonna die, but I definitely agree with you. I would think that, especially in a 1v2 lane, getting that alpha strike to clear the waves and get that farm would be the way to go. But certainly I cannot call myself a Master Yi connoisseur.
Oh, Tristana picking up BF Sword at 7 minutes.
That is scary. She would sit
Of course,
now.
we're not seeing. Oh, Master Yi might. No.
Gold on Misfortune. That is a scary
gold
concept.
So Tristan is not going the Borg Rush that we see sometimes.
I mean, when she's this far ahead, she almost might as well just go straight for that Infinity Edge. Get that high scaling started now, and just start putting out a lot of damage. Like Brand
creeping around.
Off to the right of the lane. Malphite was sent back, picked up. It looks like he may be going for the Aegis early. New Aegis, and now builds into the Locket.
I'm not sure what else those items can really
Yeah,
build into.
I'm trying to think. Those, when you saw those 3 items earlier, it used to be either Aegis or Locket, and now they're basically the same item.
It's
So, has to be one of the two.
4,000 gold lead for blue team right now at 8 minutes. That's a frightening prospect. That's a 50%
We do have a gank here
gold
going
lead.
on, but it's 3v2, but the 3 are running away. Not really interested. Interesting that
Master Yi's
Lee
a
Sin,
frightening individual.
Lee Sin had the early game advantage on Sejuani. Got the buffs taken away, and now is the same level as Sejuani.
He's definitely...
Will about to hit 6.
Mhm.
So he is slightly ahead still, but not as
He
ahead as
did
you
waste a
necessarily
little bit of
expect.
time up in mid.
Looks like
Brand.
Ken will be going down to mid. Master Yi following up behind after Brand takes him really low. Alpha strikes in, does pick up the kill, and then just Highlanders out with that really zoom animation going on. I love the animations for the new one.
Really great play from Brand there. Saw Master Yi and Lee Sin in the jungle. Probably yelled at them in TeamSpeak going, hey, if I get Kennen down to a quarter, do you think you can come down? Said yes, kill for Master Yi.
The bubble just misses on Sejuani in the bot lane. Just a little bit of trading going on. Both Malphite and Sejuani taken rather low. Brand solo invading blue buff for makeshift chemistry, so
Everybody
he's gonna take that away all by himself. And with half health and next no mana, he's gonna look to roam here and pick up a kill, but he's not needed as Sejuani goes down before he even lands a spell.
That Tristana, the burst damage, definitely showing up.
And I mean, one thing we haven't mentioned yet, 2 towers also taken down, extending that gold lane lead to nearly
Going to be
5.5K.
Oh, Kennen coming in.
Kennen comes in. Doesn't get anything yet, but Tristana could be going down here. She does flash away. It looks like she will
looks
escape,
like she's fine.
but
Brand's coming.
Kennen has a good speed boost and great stun coming out of Brand around the wall. Landing straight onto Kennen, escorting Trist right out. Great support there. As the top, or which one was it? Oh, the bottom second tower goes down, giving us a 6.5K gold lead at 10 minutes. And Tristana, did she try to do a camp or something? Because she nearly died.
Yeah, she tried to take wraiths. And not a good idea when you don't have lifesteal.
Second time that J55 has found themselves coming closer to death from fighting the jungle camps than they have from fighting the other team.
Tristana, of course, running. That's 6% lifesteal in Quince.
Yeah, we see that a lot now. It's become pretty standard, and Lee Sin kicks Kennen right out to Brand. Is the knife gonna get, or not the knife, but rather the Brand passive was not quite enough, so Brand follows up with an auto attack. Throws down his Pillar of Flame on Sejuani as well, taking him down really low. And it's now 7-0. Misfortune's flanked from the side, throws out the ultimate. Is not going to be enough damage, but then Leona comes in with the ult, flashed away by Brand. Flash E! He tries to
Lee
flash
might just kill Sejuani here.
for the Zenith Blade, but does miss. Yeah, Sejuani, both Sejuani and Lee Sin rather low, but Lee Sin's just going to take some jungle and stick around. Well, both Lee and Brand really low, but they don't really seem to care.
Well, we have ults down from Leona, Misfortune, and Kennen. They really don't have anything to fear.
Kennen ult is almost up.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have flash. So there is that. Malphite is farming up on himself in the top lane. Now Master Yi is going to show up and possibly start a little fight.
Like right now, between
Malphite's slows don't do anything whatsoever to Master Yi, and he is really held on to that ult way too late. Starts channeling it, or well, channel time, but starts using that ultimate as he goes down for the last Master Yi auto attack. Misfortune and Sejuani just chasing Tristana out of the jungle.
That true damn Warden's Mail. Actually, Randuin's not Warden's Mail. Any attack speed slow that also slows movement speed does nothing to Master Yi when he's ulting.
Yep.
So I'm almost positive the only attack speed slows that affect Master Yi are Malphite's E and Frozen Heart. Is all other and Warden's Mail, but not Randuin's.
That's true. So Malphite's E will affect this.
It will.
The attack speed?
Cannon going down to Brand passive.
Okay. Oh, and yeah, Cannon goes down, the tower goes down in top lane, up to a 4-tower lead.
Great kick from Lee Sin.
Yeah, the ward jump coming out onto Leona, and Leona will go down once again to the Brand passive.
Brand seems to be perpetually at half health and no mana.
And yet picks up the kills. So,
yeah,
whatever he's
4-0
doing,
Brand.
it's working for him. This is now a 10k gold lead at almost 14 minutes. They're pushing down the mid inhibitor tower.
And we haven't seen one dragon.
Yeah, it's pink ward. Pink warded for red team, all ready to go, but they can't reach dragon right now.
Well, like we said, the strength of blue team lies in small-scale skirmishes, and that's all they've been doing.
Yeah.
Purple team hasn't found a chance to actually group up and get those ultimates off. And I think by now, I think it's too late.
I mean, this is a huge gold lead to come back from.
I mean, Tristana, Infinity Edge, 14 minutes. Yeah. Master Yi, he's gonna have Blade of the Ruin King in like 4 minutes.
We've seen recoveries from 10k gold, but 10k gold at just under 15 minutes. That is really big, really soon.
Like
5 towers to none, and
so
I don't know what they can do.
They have to do something desperate. Like the levels, there's 2-3 level advantages on every single lane. I mean,
one thing they have going for them is no one on J55 is remotely tanky. So if they do say, screw it, we got to say a weak comp, let's throw out all our ults and see what happens, they may be able to pick up some kills.
But they're really scared. Lee Sin has been doing
a
great job of isolating single targets.
And they're going to just be shoving down this mid lane turret here. Not much health left on it.
Malphite needs to just say there are 4 of them closed up.
The Brand ult goes out, taking down Leona and Cannon really low and getting some damage onto Misfortune. They're really just waiting to get poked down here, and the longer they wait, the less their engage is going to work. So, I mean, they might as well just go soon if they're going to try to stay in this game at all. Otherwise, they're just waiting to lose.
Yep. With the ult,
and there they go.
Malphite doesn't look like there was much communication there.
Malphite follows up. Here comes the Cannon ult. Misfortune ulted for a split second, I think.
It was interrupted by the tidal wave knockup.
Well done, Nami then.
Nami, great pick. Great pick by Nami, seeing that she can just toss out tidal wave as soon as the AoE starts happening to knock Misfortune out of her ult.
If you have a comp like this, and you're this far behind, you cannot afford to have ults go awry. Misfortune ult being immediately interrupted before I think a single bullet came out. Leona ult just never went off at all. And Sejuani and Misfortune paid for it with their lives and the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor.
Kills here.
There's the Leona ult this time as Master Yi and Tristana go in. Master Yi picks up one, picks up... Oh, no, Tristana steals the second.
Assist on one.
Lee Sin picks up the Tristana goes
Alpha
down.
Strike on again.
Master Yi goes in for another kill. It's now unstoppable.
3 kills.
Gonna be diving the tower, picks up the 3rd kill. Just double kill though. Too much time between the 2 first kills, and that's an ace. That's a 5-for-1 trade.
Gonna have to say this game is
just
over.
Tristana going down. Yeah, they don't really have enough time to actually push down the Nexus turrets, but I mean it's just a matter of time. Asti will be backing off, trying to get that bottom inhib turret. Now Malphite and Leona show up and say, you should probably stop doing that. Master Yi agrees and backs off. Nami solo pushing top lane. Let's see how fast she can split push. Get some help from Brand. She goes a little bit faster with the real mage there.
I mean, Purple Team showed their hand with the Janna ban. They showed it before picks even started. Blue Team, great job seeing what Purple Team's strong at and building a team comp decidedly around, hey, we're not going to group up. We're going to send 1 or 2 people to every lane and just fight you in these small fights where you can't afford to use your ultimates. Because we have the same thing. We have, 2 people on Blue Team up top, 2 people in mid. Master Yi just went back to pick up an Infinity Edge.
The Malphite and the Kennen all go out here. Brand may go down, does turn on to Kennen. And picks up the kill on Malphite as he goes down. Lee Sin now going in on
Master Yi coming up
Misfortune.
the bottom.
And Master Yi is holding up, flashes over the wall, pops the Highlander. The kick goes out from Lee Sin, and Master Yi gets 1. Master Yi gets 2. Will Master Yi get 3? Master Yi does get 3. GG, well played, comes
GG's
out
coming
Purple
out.
Team. Oh, because Tristana was just pushing alone down the mid lane. This whole time they were fighting, and just like, yeah, Tristana, you go take a couple Nexus turrets, and she's like, okay. Now the rest of Blue Team's following up, and they're going to put down a lot of damage as Master Yi goes crazy. I will
go down.
1v2 you. Probably not going to live here, though, so maybe eyes bigger than his mouth there, but... I mean, can you really blame him for trying? He was 9-0 before he went down.
I Blade of the Rune King coming out now. I bet he would have won
with that Infinity Edge. Yeah,
so not the Hydra nor the Static Shift were both
wrong.
I
mean, he hasn't really been split pushing at all. He's pretty much just decided to kill everyone. That's kind of a little stealthiness, Metal Gear Cannon.
I still think that Hydra would have been better, but that's just me.
Lee Sin going on to isolate Sejuani, but that is a tanky boar lady.
Lee Sin not actually
that
much
is a
health
really
resistance.
Pretty skin.
The what skin?
The new Bear Cavalry Sejuani.
Nothing on that champion is pretty.
Deus' hatred for Sejuani aside, those particles are not looking too bad.
They're ugly just like her. Oh,
Kennen just decides he wants a piece of Tristana. Kind of rocket jumping away. Misfortune.
Oh, there's an ult in the jungle.
Basically nothing, and then Brand throws his own ult back, and chunks a few people down. Leaves him with another war jump. Misses the Q though. But that Nami ult will pretty much end Purple Team's game.
This was
right
a 4v5. Master Yi was getting the blue buff.
Master Yi is coming in now, though. Highlander in full swing.
It's probably going to run out before he can accomplish. No, he's going to be able to help strike the cannon. No.
Now, Cannon safely gets to the spawn. 3 people go down on red team in that exchange. And now they're just throwing out ults because they feel like they need to do something.
The fountain.
Oh,
great
job,
in him respawn.
Does Alpha Strike. Oh, no. Oh, that troll inhibitor. Master Yi Alpha striking onto the fountain. Malphite says, you're stuck with me now. Unstoppable forces right on top of him. Master Yi gets taken down by the fountain turret.
This is almost a 100%.
Leona just gonna get dropped down right away. So what,
GG's coming out
here.
Again.
Not
Will the game
there.
actually? Yes.
This time they do surrender before the Nexus goes down. That will be it. J55 will be taking up the first win of our tournament, taking down makeshift chemistry, and I mean that's one way to be. That
was domination. That was hey, we know what you're doing, we know why you're doing it. This is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna let our individual skill carry us through this game.
I mean, they just destroyed from the laning phase and beyond. They didn't even need a team fight, and once they got to team fights, they were so absurdly far ahead, it didn't matter what sort of comp they were using. So
definitely a strong first showing from that. How many Master Yi bands do you think we're going to see today? After that game, for the other teams that are watching,
possibly a couple more than we saw before.
I mean, after that performance, I think we're not gonna be seeing Master Yi on Summoner's Rift very much today.
We'll have to see. I believe we have one more game from the first round of the tournament coming up now. We should be watching End Quick Please versus We Will Get Wrecked, if I remember correctly. Okay, we got an invite.
I don't have an invite.
You'll never get an invite.
You make me sad.
Okay, so if I'm reading correctly, this will be Critical Shot Gaming versus Put Her In Coach. It'll be Critical Shot Gaming on the left side on the blue team versus Put Her In Coach representing the right side and the purple team. All eight are all eight. Or it could be a 5v5, I guess, and then there would be 10 people.
Yeah.
But who cares about math? We're playing video games, right? Guys?
What?
Alright. Casters are ready. Just waiting for the teams to be ready. And we'll be starting.
I'm gonna pull up the stream so I can see what people are doing.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We have a Diamond 1 player in here. And then Plat players, a few gold players. Could be a pretty good game here. So waiting for people to confirm they are ready. Bit of chat going on, but no one actually. Oh, someone just left. I am sick of this. I'm leaving. Don't know where they went or why they left. Hopefully they'll come back.
Who left?
We had Nami leaving.
Nami has left.
Blue team trying to convince the other team that the 5v4 would be appropriately.
So can you play without that diamond guy?
Yeah. Another decline coming out. So what is happening? I don't know.
Probably just internet problem.
I wouldn't know anything about those. Vegas might know a thing or two about that.
About what?
Internet problems.
I am internet.
Alright. A little bit of chatter going between teams. No, Alt F4 to dance. I didn't know Alt F4 was a dance code. Let me try that. Wait a second. Alt F4 is taunt, not dance. I'm being tricked. So, looks like we're waiting here, just sitting around.
Just waiting for
Amy had to leave or disconnected.
Anybody have them on their friends list? Ask the team what's going on.
Alright, the name. Ah, yeah, they're back! Amy has returned. And we just go straight into Champ Select. No complaints from me. Let's get going. Bands will be coming out shortly.
Bands.
First band coming out on Team Critical Gaming. And it will be within 8 seconds. And it will be Blitzcrank. Up and away that Blitzcrank. No one really likes Blitzcrank. Not typically one you see in 5v5 play, band out. But
Not normally. Thresh, of course.
Thresh, just no one wants to deal with that.
Band's going through like gangbusters here. Gonna see if we can maybe see a Master Yi band if anybody was watching the previous game.
And just to see if he actually gets picked, assuming he doesn't go down. Zach is the next band after that casted in. There will be no bouncy castle happening. Master Yi goes down. So they were paying attention.
Of course.
They decided they didn't want anything to do with that. He's gone. And then the Vayne band coming out.
Vayne, of course, widely regarded right now as the single strongest AD carry, since, you know, you normally play Draven against her, Draven got punched in the face by Riot, Vayne now stands on top of his dead body.
Yep. Caitlyn as well has received a few nerfs in the past. One you would definitely also want to play against Vayne. Up until level 6, where Vayne destroys you, but...
The base attack speed, of course. Nerf definitely hurt Caitlyn.
Definitely hurt dueling potential. And just the prominence of like 2v1 lanes really makes Vayne just a really safe pick. And then you build the Blade of the Rune King, you build some Static Shiv, you build a Phantom Dancer, and your mid-game damage is now insane.
And you're very fast. Sejuani being a very, sadly, being a very popular pick.
That's 100% pick rate on Sejuani. Being locked
out
in.
of 2 games.
And then again, Nami picked up right after that. I don't know specifically if Nami is a strong
She's very
counter
good at
to
disengage.
Sejuani, but that's true. Maybe it's just coincidence.
Aqua Prison is very easy to hit when you know where people are going. And where are people going when they engage on you? They're running
straight towards you.
Yes.
Good at this. All right, Jarvan, the next pick, possibly in the jungle, probably in the jungle, maybe in the top lane. Nothing for sure.
Going to see
Zyra will be locked in, and it looks like it'll be support as Lissandra's also being hovered over. Though we have seen Lissandra
top lane in EU
in
LCS.
the top lane. That is true. Or it could be Heimerdinger.
I
probably won't be Heimerdinger.
Doubt that.
But you never know. It will be Lissandra. It will be locked in. So I'd say probably in the mid lane, but it could be in the top lane. We'll have to wait and see. Lux being hovered over, and Teemo being hovered over now. Interested to see if he's just going to go with that Tristana, which was the one they initially hovered over, or they'll switch it over to something else. I don't think it'll be Teemo. I hope it won't be Teemo, because he is the spawn of Satan.
purple team seems to be, I don't know about this Teemo pick. It's not going to go through. They look to be like super revolved around just catching one person out. Lux binding Aqua Prison, Jarvan. So one or two person catches. And Teemo, I don't see where that fits.
It will be the Tristana, as I said. That was the one they first hovered over, and then just had to troll for about 50 seconds of our time. The Aura being hovered over, that is one you don't see too far. And Poppy. So right now, it's the underrepresented champions of the league being shown off after the Heimerdinger and Teemo. And now away, Dr. Mundo. Continuing the trend. I don't expect either of these picks, especially with Sejuani already in the jungle. And now Sion and Galio, so they're just keeping with the trend of champions that no one actually plays. I'm not impressed till you lock one in, guys. Show me a Cassiopeia. Now Gangplank being hovered over as well. The Ashe Morgana, this looks legit. Could actually see this locked in, or it will be Ryze instead of Morgana. So interesting, we have a couple of AP mages that could go either top or mid, so it's not necessarily Lissandra going top, Ryze going mid, or vice versa. They go either way, but it probably will be that Zyra Ashe bot lane. We've seen a lot of that in the LCS recently. Cloud9 brought that out. Really popular. There's one in the jungle. And that will, and then one of Ryze, Lissandra top, and the other in the mid. Probably what's going to happen for critical gaming. And then for put her in coach, it will be the Jace lock-in. So that'll probably be Jace top lane, Lux mid, Jarvan in the jungle, and that Triss Nami bot lane. Champs are getting traded around a bit. And we will hit the delay period for a bit. Maybe they'll come back, or maybe I'll have to go on a solo talking spree for a while. So definitely a bit of a poke comp coming out with that Lux Jace from Put Her In Gaming, or Put Her In Coach. Bit of disengage as well with that Nami, with that Tristana. A little bit of disengage from Jarvan as well, but he mostly likes to jump onto people, not away from them. And yeah, it will be Ashe, Zyra, bot lane, Sejuani in the jungle, and then I'm not sure which position Blood Crane and Decorux plays. I can't specifically say they prefer mid or top. It looks like Blood Crane is the mid player, so we will see that Ryze in the mid lane, I believe, and it will be Decorux in the top lane with that Lissandra. So I say that, and actually, I'm not sure. All right, well that's my guess. We'll see if that comes to pass. And going through the lanes real quick, we have Nami, Tristana versus Ashe, Zyra. Neither super strong early, but that level 6 from Ashe, Zyra, very scary. Lots of CC. Definitely huge gank potential with someone like Sejuani. Will be hard to avoid, but I mean, Tristana, Nami, got great disengage. Tristana can jump away, buster shot someone back. Nami will throw out the bubble, throw out the tidal wave. Could be tough to gank that lane. Lux will be taking the teleport, it looks like, perhaps. So that will be interesting. Watching her react to some plays from Sejuani. Arriving there just in time to turn the play around with a good ult or light binding. So definitely the early game seems to favor the purple team right here with that Jarvan jungle. Just so much more pressure. Early Sejuani's ganks are okay for level 6, but they don't really match up to Jarvan's level 2 ganks. As soon as Jarvan gets that flag and drag combo, his gank potential is huge. I mean, the range on that gap closer, add the red buff on top of it, and he just has a naturally has a lot of damage with his passive and his base damages on his spells. So, very scary ganker there. And then in the top lane, it looks like it will be the Jace versus Lissandra. Be an interesting matchup. I can't speak too much to that matchup. I have not seen much of Lissandra top, so it's tough for me to really say who comes out on top. And in the mid lane, it will be that Lux Ryze. Lux is really a champion who can bully Ryze around really early. Until Ryze gets that catalyst for that sustain, a little more mana from the tier, and really start shoving the wave, then Lux can definitely shove Ryze in early with her Loosen Singularity. Clear those waves, push him into tower. Ryze, one of those mages who doesn't really farm into tower, as well as others can, so he's vulnerable to that. Looks like Deus is back, am I mistaken?
No, I'm back.
Thank you, that is good. As fun as solo casting is, well, it's not super fun.
It's not fun at all.
Welcome back. I'm taking a look at the teams since you came back.
I'm loading into the screen right now.
Alright. I'm actually going to take a 2-second break myself. I'll be right back.
Right while I'm loading in. Because I don't know what he talked about, so I might just be repeating things. You have purple team down here. Probably just going to be involved in trying to find 1 or 2 person catches, much like blue side last game. Skirmish fights, 1v2s. And then we do have on the blue side the Sejuani, Zyra, Lissandra, Ryze, lots and lots of AoE coming out. Lane to watch. I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be mid lane between that Lux and Lissandra. Those are both of probably the biggest playmakers on their individual teams. Lux looking like the one to be relied on for 1-2 person catchouts. Lissandra looking about to be the one. They need her to get into the fight, deal her massive AoE, and hopefully get out alive. I'm gonna say mid lane's gonna be the one to watch.
Who did you think was in the mid lane?
Who did I think? I think it's gonna be Lissandra Lux.
Okay.
Like,
I was thinking
just
Ryze.
because
I'm not
Ryze
sure yet.
does do a lot better against Jace than Lissandra. If they don't go for the 2v1, you know, Ashe Zyra
That's true. That's always a possibility.
As we've seen from a multitude of Cloud9 games, Ashe Zyra is an extremely strong lane.
Well, I guess Zyra is probably one of the slightly higher damaging supports. So certainly Ashe,
Well,
as far as AD carries are concerned, has basically no damage.
well,
Like, the lowest damage of all AD carries, but the utility brought is just immense.
well,
You
the
can
thing
start fights whenever.
with Ashe is that in lane, if Zyra lets her do, that's a guaranteed Enchanted Crystal Arrow. And then that means that's a guaranteed Stranglethorns. That's a good 5 seconds of lockdown on somebody.
You're absolutely right.
Even with low damage from Ashe, they're not living.
And then the potential of Sejuani just running off the lane on top of that, it's scary. Certainly.
The Ryze, normally I see Ryze take teleport, but I guess he wants to have that little edge in lane for that ignite.
I am interested to see where they choose to send their 2 mages. But ultimately, I think Lissandra was more of a mid laner, at least when she was designed in mind, but I think I've actually ultimately seen her more top lane than anything else.
Her
But then again,
escape is
Ryze
very good.
Ryze is also a mage who's seen a big resurgence in play, largely due to the fact that people play him a lot in the top lane now, opposed to just that mid lane. So Ryze definitely going deep into the utility sec, picking up both the biscuit and the short.
Explorer.
Yeah, the Explorer ward.
Rise just does, it just does a very good job against melee champions in general. Melee champions being a lot of what top lane's comprised of.
Yep.
I mean, with the items, it looks like Lissandra's gonna be going mid. Just
no wards there. Getting the Doran's ring.
Rise looks to be prepped for the ban.
And
Thank you for
just
that,
like
Mommy.
that.
Rise seems to be planning on going through a fairly rough laning phase against someone. Maybe be expecting a 1v2.
Oh, okay, so I guess red team paused it thinking blue team had a DC, which was not the case, and we do have an invade here coming out of the red team, throwing the bubble down into the tri-bush, another one there. They will spot out Ashe, Ashe will spot them out, and that's all that's going to come of that. Well, and I say that,
and
they
red
go back
team.
to the tri-bush and
wow.
turn around, and they're going for a different invade path.
Zyra, Ashe need to be really careful.
Does check the bush. Very smart play by Zyra there, not phase checking that. Checking with the roots first, then throwing in a ward, and backs off quickly. A bit of warding coming out.
Oh, I have colorblind one on.
So 2 wards coming out, blue team already in their own red side jungle. Red team just invading, puts that 1 ward down and decides to back off. Looks like Sejuani is planning on starting that blue buff. And Jarvan will just back off and set up for his own blue buff.
Oddly enough, Rice started Overload over Rune Prison.
Interesting. Yeah, they cost the same amount of mana now, and they're the same range as well, so definitely...
The only difference is the cooldown, but... I don't know, the Rune Prison is definitely a better pickup for level 1.
Yeah. And it will be Rise headed to the top lane, so you are right. And Lissandra Lux will be the matchup mid. I think this is a better matchup for Lissandra than it is for Rise. I don't think Rise fares too well against Lux.
But once Rise hits the point where he can get that tier and the catalyst, he does well against pretty much anyone. But the first couple levels against the Lux are very hard on Rise.
Yep.
Bot lane, a lot of damage coming onto Nami.
Yeah. Oh, we have an invade already coming in from Jarvan. He's standing right on top of a ward. I'm not sure he knows that.
He manages to smite
Jarvan will just smite it away. Throws out the Q as well. And it's that spike damage. Says when he knew he was there, I was definitely planning to outsmite him, but just did not, properly account for the amount of damage Jarvan can throw out combined with that Q. And it looks like we'll have a gank. No, he's just going around. Oh. Lissandra picking up the kill on Lux, as Jarvan still trying to mess with Sejuani a bit, but now that he has no mid laner, could be in a bit of trouble here. He is still going aggressive, and Lissandra does not seem interested in helping out. Up in the top lane, Jace with a pretty big minion lead early, though Rise does have a big minion wave to farm up. But this is definitely a lane that favors Jace early, before Rise really gets a lot of mana. Be able to farm up. And then Tristana Nami, not surprisingly, a Tristana lane pushing pretty hard. It's almost impossible not for a Tristana lane to not push with that passive explosion
Sejuani
from her explosive shot.
Sejuani is level
dies to
2.
golems. That is rough indeed. That red lifting stolen away. Again, point 10 took some of that XP away from just the golem buff, particularly, but still a lot of experience wrapped up in just the buff alone now. So getting that smite stolen from you is going to be a huge experience hit for you. So Jarvan up to level 4, Sejuani level 2.
Alive.
Yeah, and they're really looking for Rise. Rise picking the smart pass, just running down the lane. He does have that movement speed increase now with those 3.10 changes. Basically set all of his spells to 600 range, so taking, I think all of his spells ultimately got some range removed from them, just varying amounts. So all of his spells now at 600 range, but he gets an extra. His base movement speed has now gone up. In addition, okay, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna talk over this fight in the top lane, trading some good damage down, but his base movement speed has gone up, and he had more extra move speed coming out from his ult now when he chooses to activate that. So he's much faster now, but he has to get in closer to the target once to blow up. And it does look like they alt lane sent back Ashe really early, with Ashe sitting at 16 CS to Tristana's 44. And, you know, Ashe typically struggles early, but shouldn't be struggling early against a Tristana. And this could be Zyra going down right here as she gets bubbled. But they're not going to go much harder on that. Get the explosive shot down. Zyra's just going to back away. And we'll have to recall now. Jarvan looking for a gank in the mid lane. Sandra does not see this coming. Does hit 6 though. As it goes, she could throw out the E, but is her even up? Oh, she had used it to farm. So taking a lot of damage because she threw out that E, not to escape, but to get some CS. And Lux is actually really low in that mid lane as well. Lissandra looking to go in hard, flashes the EQ combo from Jarvan. Once again, use that E to try to get some positioning on Lux. Costs her flash. So, guys, if you're playing Lissandra mid, you know, be careful with those escapes, how you use them. Because it really opens you up to ganks if you use them offensively. Not a lot of ward coverage coming out right now. We have the red ward on that level 4 Sejuani at 7 minutes. Typically at 7 minutes, you want to be close to hitting 6. Like this Jarvan right now, he's about halfway to 6, and that's normally where you should go. And he just knows when this blue buff spawns. He didn't see it when it went down, but he just knows. So Sejuani is coming across the corner, and it's going to be a smite war that Jarvan wins easily because Sejuani smites way too early. Or did she smite? No, I'm sorry. Jarvan smited early, but then secured it with his Q. And then a bit of action, Rise coming down, but they're gonna back off. More action in the bot lane as Zyra goes down. And that's about all I got. Ashe is trying to chase him down a bit, but probably doesn't have the damage to fight this. Especially with the single Doran's Blade. Jarvan, after stealing the blue, is going to secure their own blue for Lux as Rise gets taken down really low from the harass from Jace. And now he's even lower as he gets killed from that long range EQ combo. Shock Blast lands. Rise is dead. Jarvan camped out in the jungle, not done making Sejuani's life a living hell. Not even slightly. Has a pretty good idea of when this red spawns, and well, he's just on top of it. So when he realizes it spawns, he's gonna go secure that right away.
Not having a good day in the jungle.
Except she's dead. Maybe she didn't know at the time, but she may have been better off just killing those golems. May have saved her life. He's
level
dead.
4, lower level than the support.
Yeah, just not having a good time. That is now 3 buffs stolen away from her jungle out of 4 this far. So, needless to say, having a bit of a rough time.
Yeah, the ward coverage just isn't there from blue team in that jungle. They know Jarvan's going to be going for the red buff. They don't have any wards.
They have no wards guarding the entrances. They have 1 ward top lane that won't see Jarvan really going into the jungle. They have no wards mid lane. Okay, Tribush is pretty guarded. I mean, they have a couple wards leading up to that, but Jarvan especially just can jump over walls, He doesn't care about wards too much when invading the jungle. And the arrow misses entirely. And Jarvan will jump on Zyra. Demacia! And Zyra dies.
Yep, Demacia getting out there.
I mean, Jarvan's just doing work right now. I mean, he's only been involved in 2 kills of the 4. But he has kept Sejuani completely out of the game.
5.
Exactly.
Level 5 with the Spirit Stone. Jarvan's got 1,300 gold on him right now.
About to go up a little as they will probably secure this dragon. The Hawkshot does come out. They do know it's being done, but can Sejuani even hope to steal it? No. Sejuani's not interested. She's just gonna go do her wraiths. Probably the smart call.
Yeah, it looks like Slim Jim there has learned his lesson. Let's not go places where in my jungle ever, because I don't ward.
Yep.
I
am going to get the small camps and nothing else. I mean, at this point, she just has to try to hit 6 and then look to gank. There's not much else she can do. So Jarvan finishing that Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Getting the massive health boost, a bit of CDR and tenacity. Stop the stuns. Looks like Lissandra's looking to roam top. But I think Rise told her about the ward. So she's just going to try to kill Lux in the mid instead, and misses everything.
Whoa!
Flashes into the ult, the Ignite goes out, the Q follows up. It won't be enough damage, though.
I don't know why she didn't wait 3 more seconds for her E to be up again.
And that's a good point. I guess she felt she had damage to take Lux down regardless. And it was close. I mean, Lux's shield, basically the only thing saving her there.
Yeah, if she waited that 3 seconds, that would have been the kill.
Sejuani gonna catch out Nami here as Nami tries to ward at the exact wrong time. Tristana just goes straight in on Ashe, but eats an arrow to the face. The barrier goes out. Sejuani's now on top of her. And will take down Tristana as in the top lane, Jarvan and Jace combine to take out Rise. So all in all, a 1-for-1 across the board.
From Lux.
But a teleport from Lux coming in, hits the Lucent Singularity, hits the Light Binding, and there's the ultimate. That's not going to miss either. Secures it with the auto attack, popping her passive. Zyra is now dead as well. Nami trying to recall under tower, you can't do that. Maybe a little bit of playful laughter going in.
Not quite as one-sided as last game, but still 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, at this point in the last game, I believe it was closer to a 10k gold lead.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is a bit closer. Still gets action both ways. I mean, blue team has 2 kills, which, you know, are well earned. Certainly, especially that first blood in the mid. Lissandra showing that she can get the kills on Lux.
Almost get the kills.
Definitely, I mean, she has, she
has the Lux rod. In 60 seconds, I think we're going to see Lissandra go in again once that ignites up.
She does have the ult.
And she'll have ult rank 2 as well as ignite. And once that ignites back up.
Lux does have the full Athene's Unholy Grail, so picking up a 40 MR plus those shields. That is she leveling? Actually, she's not putting any points into it. Against a burst mage like Lissandra, I would have expected, you know,
max shield.
You may want to put some more, some more.
The
points.
red buff.
Maybe not.
Oh, Sejuani.
Oh,
you're never getting that red. Never mind.
The long range laser from downtown, dropping dropping Ashe, putting Zyra really low for Tristana to clean up.
Jarvan,
and now this is an easy red buff steal.
9 to Sejuani's level 6.
Yeah. And in the top lane, another turret goes down. Or that turret was down a while ago. It was actually in the bot lane that the turret was down. This is rough. This game may be over.
GG's coming out. Zyra.
Okay, they say GG. Red team suggests that they could leave the game, but it doesn't seem like they actually will. Looks like they'll play it out to at least 20 minutes. As the ult comes out onto Jarvan and Lux, Lysandra follows up. That's probably going to be a dead Lux as Ryze picks up that kill.
Jarvan just has too much
Chasing
health
on
at
this
point.
Jarvan, yeah, he has a Giant's belt on top of his Spear of the Ancient Golem. He's sitting at 2,300 health at 15 minutes. That's a lot for those keeping count. The Shock Blast missed from Jace, but
Great escape from
yeah,
Lysandra.
it's hard to keep Lysandra down when she does have her E up. Oh, they are closing in on... Oh!
Nice dodge.
Tristana jumping over the wall. Oh, but they do pick up Nami. But Tristana jumps over the wall as Sejuani jumps back. Basically trading places there, and Tristana just walks out. Looks like they're going to switch to pushing down mid now. Jay's throwing out a lot of poke from downtown. Trist really good at pushing down towers, has good range, good attack speed, and that explosive shot obviously ups her push the lane really well, and then combine that with the Jace poke to keep people at bay. This could be a tower if they keep at it. Oh, looks like Zyra gets caught out.
Down.
She throws out the ult, but it's not going to be enough as Jace just lands another shock blast. And it looks like they're going straight for Dragon. Definitely better objective control this game than we saw from the last one.
On the last
where
one,
I don't
didn't
believe
need
the
it.
Dragon ever went down. No, that's true. But this,
Between 7,000 gold, man.
yeah, the put her in coach team definitely taking advantage of the kills and picking up what they need afterwards.
Yes.
That Debonair J skin. Going back to base. Been all suave. Pretty good skins that Jace has. Only got 2 of them, but pretty solid both.
I mean, the Jace and the Lux, that's an absurd amount of poke. Let's see, we have... Oh, Lysandra just warding. Not gonna die to Jace.
Jarvan and Jace looking to invade onto the blue once again. Because blue team isn't allowed to have any buffs.
Lysandra
They've
going
made
for
that clear.
the Death Cap instead of the Zonias, which is normally I see Zonia's Hourglass coming out.
Yeah, really going for the upfront burst. Really looking to kill people, I guess. Or anything else. I mean, hard to blame her saying that they need damage for this team. Because they are in trouble right now. As the ult goes out onto Jarvan, and that could spell his end as when he misses the ult. But Ryze flashes forward and throwing down a bunch of damage onto Lux, but actually wasn't that much damage because Ryze is a tier and a Warden's mail. Oh, Tristana jumps in behind Ryze, knocks him back into the team. The Zyra ult goes out. It won't be enough to save her life as she tries to flash under the tower and gets taken down. And then Ashe and Sejuani just sitting there with not a lot of health left. Of course, red team not a lot of health left either, but
Lysandra is up. If she had ultimate, she would be able to do, but she's just gonna
the
die.
Nami bubble catches her after she tries to E into the team. She dies.
If she had ult, that would have been a quadra kill.
You may be right. What? Zyra right now 0-6. Not a great showing out of her this game, unfortunately. That's actually
like
half of the deaths in the game. Trist trying to camp a bush, but camping on top
it's
of a
warded.
ward.
She's gonna get.
Sixth Sense kicking in there. No wards, I don't think. Saw
I think
Sejuani coming up there.
caught a glimpse. Zyra wasn't in the bush.
Ah.
See, Sejuani starts the red, and they just know Jarvan's gonna be there.
3 people trying to take down this red buff.
They
And they
finally get it.
secure a buff as Jarvan decides invading 1v3 is probably not the best idea.
He could probably still get out alive. Let's be honest.
I mean, his smite wasn't up though, so he wouldn't have been able to get the red buff, so what's the point? Jarvan so far making it very clear he doesn't really care about kills, he just wants every buff in the game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Just gonna take down the mid tower, and then Jace goes hard onto Sejuani. Lissandra ults straight onto Triss, takes her very low, but will not go down. Ryze jumping into the fight there. It's the loose or the
I mean,
final
everyone
spark
is
from
almost dead.
Lux with a triple kill, taking out Ryze, Lissandra, and Zyra. And then there's a delayed Quadra as Ashe goes down, gets caught up by the Jarvan flag and drag, and then eats a loose in singularity to the face. Sejuani now gonna try to 1v5, and okay, no, they're just gonna back off. Gonna all recall in a nice pile. Decides she's too cool for the pile and goes off to farm or just walk around.
That last team fight was the example of why Lissandra's rush Hourglass and not Deathcap. If you ult somebody, you are open. You are Lissandra, you are short range.
That's true.
So normally, Lissandra ults someone, during when her ult is on, she Zhonya's, and then she E's out. That was not possible because I mean, it's a fancy hat. It's a nice hat. But hats do not save you from flags.
That is true, in fact. Nor from lasers.
No.
As she learned pretty quickly, getting that final spark to the face and taking her down.
Tristana's starting to get a fairly terrifying amount of items.
Interestingly, going for the last Whisper second, despite
I guess for just Rise.
I suppose.
Rise finally getting his catalyst.
Not a lot of armor on the blue team, but yeah, Rise has the Warden's Mail, and Sejuani has the Ninja Tabi, and that's about it. Zyra standing on top of a ward. Lands the snare onto Lux, but they just walk away, as they have no vision of Baron right now.
Listen,
Red
there
team
has
realizes
to
this
be the
and just goes
Lissandra Sejuani.
Nami may be caught out, but no! It's actually blue team getting caught out as they eat a final spark to the face. And red team secures the Baron, and there's the JC, and they're just chasing him down. Just on a flashing forward, throws out the ultimate.
Sejuani fails
Doesn't
the jump.
over the wall. Well, it was a good effort. Zyra looks like she'll die again as J4 flash ults onto her. She's gonna live a little bit longer.
0, 8, and 0. Has literally not had an ounce of impact for her team.
Fortunately, not so much this game. Lissandra's dead as
no
well.
Hourglass. To be fair, that wouldn't have really mattered, but
Yeah, the Hourglass would have approximately delayed her death by 5.5, or 2.5 seconds, I should say. As Jarvan jumps in onto Ashe and
Rise immediately
Sejuani,
dies.
and Rise dies.
And that is GG.
Yeah, this will be game. Not much blue team has left in the bank. I can't imagine. Tristana could go down. No, never mind.
She is perfectly
Got
fine.
a lot of life steal. Just kills everyone with a little bit of help.
Nami has a
Jace.
seizure.
Nami is having a seizure indeed. And that's game. Team put her in coach, if I recall correctly. on to the next round.
Yeah, that was, again, an absolutely dominating performance. Tristana now 2 for 2, actually, if I remember right.
I believe you are correct.
Okay,
There's
good.
0 for 2.
As it should
And Nami
be.
2 for 2. Or was Tristana in the last one?
I thought she.
Was
I
it
thought
also
it was.
a Tristana?
It was a Trisnami.
No, you're
lane.
right. It was a Triss Nami lane. So we've seen that twice, as well as the Sejuani.
The
With
Sejuani has
differing
had,
results.
yeah, no impact this game. Zyra, sadly, even having less of one.
So we'll be getting to the next game possibly shortly.
Possibly shortly.
I don't really know. I'm not in charge. I just do what people tell me to do and then yell into a microphone a bit.
Ah.
Okay. I believe one of our semifinal games, which we plan to stream both of, had to go forward, or one of the teams would have been disqualified because they had to go to work. I don't know why you would come to a tournament at an hour and a half play, but it's not my job to tell people what to do. That's Embo's job. He gets to boss everyone around. Bossy, bossy, bossy. So I'm gonna update the brackets real quick, see who has moved on. So the next two games will be We Will Get Wrecked versus the team we first saw, J55. And then the team we just saw as well, Put Her In Coach, will be playing team People and Tings.
People and Tings.
N. Just N, not and. People and Tings. Yeah, that's the real name. I have an invite coming out, so it looks like we will be seeing team Put Her In Coach right away again, as we will be watching the matchup I just said. Put Her In Coach versus People and Tings. So two of the more interestingly named teams will be going head to head in this next game. We're just waiting for them to fill up, and as I turn around, it is filled up. Alrighty.
Right, I have to leave and start making some food because I'm starving.
Really?
But I will be back.
Really? Really?
I can't just sit here for like 6 hours and walk.
That's what I do.
I didn't even know what was going on today.
It's Saturday.
I will be back.
Alright, so
at some
once
point.
again, fine, just leave, whatever. The Blitzcrank ban, the Lux bans, so clearly purple team. People and things were paying attention to the last game, decided the Lux, pretty scary. Didn't actually have much of an impact in the early game, actually giving up first blood. But definitely turned it around in those team fights in that mid-game. And did some key final sparks, eliminating targets pretty quickly. And the Shen ban comes out next. Let's see, maybe get a quick guest showcaster here. Let's see. There?
There we go.
Alright. This will be Miridus, who will be my guest showcaster for as long as he wants to stay. With my luck, will be about 20 minutes. But we'll see. Udyr being the next ban, so I'm going to focus on the game again. We did not see Udyr from Team Put Her In Coach. So I have to suspect that they do play him rather frequently, but not last game. Because he's not typically a general ban you see. Much like the bans coming out from Put Her In Coach, Blitz, Shen, and Zach, all pretty general bans. And then the Jace ban also coming out. So that one definitely, we saw in the last game, did a lot of work. And it'll be the
Blue team is the team that just played, correct?
Yes. Put Her In Coach was, purple
I'm
team
surprised there's
in the
no
last
J4
game.
ban then. He kind of
Yeah.
ruled the map there.
That is really true. Definitely did a lot of work on that. J4 just completely shutting down Sejuani. They will be insta-locking Vayne. Vayne seen
That's
a lot more
ballsy.
play
He
recently.
must be
Yep.
very confident in his play.
And now it's up to people and things. I am going to get sick of these names really quickly.
I'm just going to refer
Picks
them
to
as
make.
blue and purple because I don't know the names. That works for me.
For those of you watching, the blue team is Put Her In Coach. Again, and then the purple team or the red team, depending on your settings, is People and Things. I don't know where they come up with these names. I just say them. Again, the Ask Zyra lane. That's been really popular of late.
Yeah, that's been very
This-
popular in LCS because you can have a team with a very little CC in the solo lanes, and your bot lane brings tons of CC. Plus that arrow into the String of Thorns combo is just amazing. So much lockdown.
Yep.
So it's been very popular, so everyone's wanting to try it.
Definitely, you can just throw out tons of damage to your solo laners, and the Jarvan coming out once again, along with that Nami. The two picks
And
we
there's the
saw
Jarvan.
out. Yep. So sticking with what worked last game, just switching Tristana for Vayne so far.
Yeah, I think his
Hovering
mind
over-
says he wants to carry harder, I suppose.
Did not do enough work last game. Needs. Yeah, you're right. Vayne, mind was lost, but yes. I guess he didn't do a ton of work the last game. Pretty much everyone else cleaning up all the kills, so wants in on that this time. Renekton and Amumu being hovered over. You don't see a ton of Amumu. See a bit more Nocturne, not a lot though. Mostly just CLG. Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath was really popular for a while, but now it's really only in the LCS Elite's odd one playing him. Especially since a lot of Mortis team complexity was dropped out. But it looks like it will be that Cho'Gath jungle along with the Renekton top lane.
As far as junglers
though-
go, Jarvan will beat a Cho'Gath in a straight-up fight, so there's still the invasion potential. But Cho'Gath, you can't really get him out of the game. As long as he can land Qs and Ws, then he's always useful. It doesn't matter how much you try to shut him down. That's a good thing about Cho'Gath.
Certainly killing him a lot, though, will keep his feast stacks down, make him a little bit less of that immovable tank, but...
Yeah, that is the
Hey,
one
once he gets
aggravating about
those-
playing Cho'Gath.
Once he gets those 6 stacks, though, I mean, you pretty much have to focus him because you can't walk around him. He's just so big.
You can't completely ignore him either.
I mean, yeah, it's true. If you let a Cho'Gath walk up to you with his feet still up, he's gonna take away half your health on a squishy with that ultimate. So not something to be ignored. The Zed will be locked in. Looks like it could be the top lane as Tiffany looking to pick up the Ahri with her Lux banned away last game. Tiffany sounds like a female name, but I don't know. I'm just completely guessing right now. And it would be the
So I'm
Zed.
liking this on blue side, because if you look at how it's matched up right now, they have a 3-threat team comp right now. Ahri and what's his name? Zed is a double assassin plus Vayne. Now, purple team has to pick one of those to kill. They're not realistically going to be able to kill all of them with just Renekton. So he's going to Renekton when he goes in. He's not going to be able to kill. He may be able to kill one. The others are going to kill him. And then you have Cho'Gath. And also, if you look, you have Zyra, Ashe, and Cho'Gath so far. Now Ryze, who have no mobility, none at all.
Yeah.
And Zed and Ahri are going to be able to catch them out very easily. So it's going to be double assassin and Jarvan going in, picking someone off instantly, while letting Vayne clean up anyone who tries to stop them. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you mentioned initially, like the very first thing you said, was you could pick this bot lane and just throw a bunch of damage into your solo laners. And Renekton, Cho'Gath don't bring a lot of damage. Definitely not.
Yeah,
Well,
the
Renekton's
purple
a fair
team
bit
is
damage
kind
in
of
that
a...
mid game, but they did bring that Rise though, and
Yeah.
certainly much just does damage after damage after damage.
Yeah,
If
they're
they
going
can
for
keep
the
him
late game,
alive-
it seems.
Yeah.
Of course, the late
If
game
they
on the
can
blue
keep
is
him
not
alive.
bad either.
Yeah, I mean Vayne right now, it seems to depend on how, like, could do that Fate of the Rune King, Phantom Dancer, and Static Shiv build that I see a lot, and that gives her really a huge mid game, and then drops her off a bit in the late game unless she like changes her itemization around a bit. But I mean, it all depends on how she builds. Like, she could have a huge late game or that huge mid game, or maybe both if she can, sort of get a hybrid of the two, or just get ridiculously fed. Really depends. Ed really looks like he has a tier with both Rise and Ashe, no mobility whatsoever. Though Zyra and Cho'Gath do bring a fair bit of appeal. They're hard to dive onto.
Yeah, the purple can play it 2 different ways. They can wait for the blue side to engage, which their engage is not amazing. It's Jarvan's the best they got. The rest of it is just hoping to catch somebody. Because the Ahri would have to flash in, ult, and land a taunt from a long distance to really start a fight. So it's going to be all on Jarvan. If Jarvan doesn't get ahead early, since they have no front line other than him, they'll just be melted. Because on purple side, you have a Ryze who's going to be tanky, Cho'Gath who's already tanky, and Renekton most of the time builds full tank because his overall AoE damage is mixed magic and physical when his ult's going, and just does so much damage over time. You can't ignore him, so he can build full tank. So having 3 tanks on the purple side's team means that if the blue team cannot pick someone off immediately, those 3 tanky people are just going to slowly mow them down because the blue team cannot take a hit at all. All of them are squishy except for Jarvan. So it's going to be a game of who catches who off first, because it's going to be the Ashe arrow, or it's going to be Jarvan catching somebody. That's what it's going to be all game. Is whoever wants to initiate first.
Yeah. Definitely, if blue team finds themselves split in the jungle or anything, and Ashe arrow landing, they could be in a lot of trouble. They do have a bit of a there with the Zyra bubble and the Ahri charm. They can get like a small pick off there, maybe with a Vayne condemn thrown in if the positioning is right. But yeah, definitely not clear initiation that the purple team brings just with the Ashe Zyra alone.
Yeah, one thing that the purple team does have, other than obviously they have a tank line, they have disengage. With Zyra, Ashe, and Cho'Gath, they can disengage very easily. Blue side, not so much. Three of their solos do have ports to get away, but as far as helping other people get away, if someone gets stunned, locked down, which was very likely to happen with Purple's team, they're going to die. So they have to be very careful with their positioning. Now, of course, if this ends up like last game where they snowball the lanes, none of that will matter anyway. But assuming everything goes even, the team fight's going to be interesting because it's a assassin team versus a tank lineup team. and it's just who lands the CC correctly, who gets the priority targets. We'll have to see how these turn out.
We talked a lot about the team fights in the last few games, and it really hasn't come to that. So, a lot of the laning phase, and I mean, the initial laning phase, I have to give it. I mean, Ari in the mid lane over Ryze, especially. I mean, that Jarvan is going to be a big threat early. We saw him in the last game. He completely shut out 20. He didn't even have to gank that much, but when he did, I mean, they were effective. They got the results. So. I mean, Cho'Gath as well, not so much to be completely ignored mid. He doesn't bring the damage that Jarvan does. CC.
Oh yeah, he has monumental CC, and he does have good burst. If he QWRs a squishy, they're over half dead. Plus, they're knocked up CC forever, and his team's going to kill them. So, it doesn't really necessarily have to kill your opponent, as long as you hold in there long enough for someone else to do it.
Alright, so we're just in the load screen now. We got Team 4 skin versus Team 1 skin.
Did you say foreskin?
I may have, I may not have.
Oh, I do believe my Gamebox just made my client crash. I love Gamebox.
Gamebox is amazing, and it is the
Yeah, it
best.
works for most people, but for some reason, which anyone listening, this is why you have not seen me, because my Gamebox for some reason on my computer causes problems. So I don't know what that deal is, but okay, my screen's black. It may take a few minutes for me to get back in because I gotta figure out what happened.
Alright, but of course, Gamebox, the only sponsor of Serendipity Gaming, which makes them awesome.
Yes, they are awesome. For everyone else.
Alright.
I'll just watch the stream. That's good. Okay, I got my screen back.
Alright. So, looking at lane to lane, Vayne, Nami, Ashe, Zyra seems pretty even to me. I mean,
overall, yeah, it's going to be with the supports. The ADs don't matter, to be honest. And that sounds kind of weird, but the ADs don't matter because both of them are not very good traders. They're kind of passive laners. It's going to be a test of can Zyra land her E's and can Nami land her Q's. That's all it's going to be about the support play this game. Overall, I think Nami and Vayne simply because Nami can heal and has AoE CC that's pretty good.
Definitely
She has the option to be aggressive, an option to make plays, whereas Zyra is generally a reactionary support. You don't go for the play, you protect your AD. So that's the only big difference, but there really shouldn't be any kills bottom lane until junglers show up. So we'll just see how that plays.
Ryze Ari is an interesting one, I think. Ryze, Ari's one of her big advantages is her mobility, and Ryze sort of says, I'm going to ignore that and just cast spells directly at you because I don't have to aim anything. He can really shove Ryze under his tower, and make it difficult for him to farm. So what are your thoughts on that lane?
I have seen this lane go multiple ways. I used to pick Ari against Ryze all the time. Now, it's kind of one of those situations to where it's a skill matchup. Whoever gets the first kill is probably going to snowball, because Ari does have range on him, and Ari can push where Ryze cannot. If Ari ever lands a taunt or whatever, a charm on Ryze, he's dead. He's going to die, most likely. It's very unlikely that he'll survive an entire burst. Ryze, on the other hand, if he can dodge the E and dodge the Q, then he will just wreck Ari. It's a skill matchup, really. Can Ryze dodge the stuff?
We do have a bit of an invade coming. Blue team.
Yep. They're very confident, I see. That's very ballsy, going up, fighting against a Ryze, Zyra, Ashe, because that's actually a lot of AoE coming out.
They did this the last game as well, just went straight in, 5-man, threw out their CC and put a ward down. And now they're doing exactly what they did last time as well. Get the ward down, come in from the other side, but this time it's warded by Red, so They
I'm
may not
kind
get
of
the same
surprised that
results.
Renekton's not coming down to help, because they know that they're invading in
Yeah,
Europe.
that's true.
He's not doing anything about sitting up there. He might as well come down.
They do have, you know, the Ashe Syra, which is a really strong level 1 combo.
Yeah, and
So they
Cho'Gath.
may think they can fight it off just on their own. Yep.
They can
Cho'Gath not taking a
disengage, but they would
skill
not
yet.
be able to fight.
Looks like Ari's just going to try to throw a little bit of her ass out. The rest of her team cures buffs. Take a little
Dangerous.
look here. Alright.
Rise is not standing in the bush, which you should always stand in that bush.
Wow, she gets it with the charm. She actually gave it away with the auto attack initially, but was not... I don't know, I guess it didn't throw off enough alarm bells in Cho'Gath.
Yeah,
Ari picks it up with the charm, so that's going to be
that's
cute.
really bad. Cho'Gath needs to go straight to his red and get that now, because otherwise he's going to fall really far behind.
It
If
has
I
to
was
get the
Jarvan
level
right
2
now-
first. I mean, I think you're about to say, would you invade that red?
Oh yes, oh yes. Knowing that
it
Cho'Gath
looks
does
like-
not have his blue and he's level 1, I would definitely go, which is what he's doing right now, it looks like.
Yeah.
Either that or he's going to Renekton. Maybe he's doing the same thing he did last game. He EQ'd over, and now he's going for his red buff.
Top lane, we have a bit of action between Renekton and Zed. Looks like Zed's getting the better of the early trades. Renekton doesn't really hit stride until level 3, where he gets all 3 of his spells, and Jarvan just steals it away right from Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath just concedes his buff altogether. It looks like clears the Wraith camps and decides that's enough, and backs off.
See, if I was the purple team, I would have been invading the enemy team, to be honest. 'Cause with his snare, they have stun, you have Cho'Gath AoE knockout, like all that stuff is very, very nice. And invades. They could have invaded them, or at least set up and waited for them. Because if they, especially if they watched last game, they know they're going to invade. Because both teams level 1 are okay, but I think purple's is better, and they know Jarvan's going to invade. So you have to plan for that, which in this case they didn't. So now Cho'Gath is very, very far behind. And I'm not sure.
And as a
Yeah,
result
try to
as
come
well,
back.
Rise is... He's actually not doing too bad in CS, but Ari still has a little bit left on that blue buff. Almost
Yeah,
half.
that makes that lane very, very tough for her early on. For Rise, I mean.
He's actually going to back off now, but yeah, I mean, no kills have come out yet, but blue team has to be off to a huge edge with Cho'Gath at level 2, Jarvan at level 4. Again, like I said this last game, the exact same thing. So Johnny's sitting level 2, Jarvan's a big level 4. I mean, that
Seems like the
that's
blue
just
team
rough.
has put a lot of emphasis on taking out the enemy jungler out of the enemy team. Because they did it last game, and they're doing it this time again. Just with that blue steal in the beginning, it should not have happened, but he pulled it off. And
Once again,
the red steal is there.
Ashe just falling really far behind in CS for seemingly no real reason.
Early on, the camera was not on it, but she she got caught by Nami Q, and had to flash and use all of her summers to get out. We had some action
So
in
Nami
mid.
went to help mid and actually Vayne has to burn flash, but did miss
Close
what
to-
looks like a gank mid.
Very close on both sides. Everyone's almost dead.
But wow,
That's just-
Cho'Gath getting taken really low. Sorry, I was watching the bot lane where Vayne was getting really low. Syra recognizing that Nami wasn't there and just going really hard onto Vayne, taking her quite low, burning the flash. Yeah, this is not going to be a good game for Cho'Gath. Having sent back again before 6 minutes, sitting at level 3 with no buffs.
Well,
Top lane now
luckily-
pretty even.
yeah, luckily, from what I said earlier, it is Cho'Gath. It doesn't matter if he's behind as far as his CC will always be there. His damage will always be there because Jungle Cho'Gath does not build damage. He builds tankiness to last longer. So yeah, he'll die quicker, but he still has a CC. If he lands things, he's fine. That's so he's not out of the game or anything of the sort. We'll just have to see how well he plays as Cho'Gath.
Rise continuing to get taken very low by this Ari, and Ari's level 6 now, with her Ignite up and her ult. So
Rise needs
he
to be
is
careful.
definitely a danger area, for certain. So that, that just hit 6 in the top lane. Renekton's still level 5. And of course, I look top, and then there's a kill mid and bot. I am looking at the wrong lanes. And then they do get the kill up top, so action happening all over the place. First, Ari goes in, dives Rise under the tower, takes him down for first blood, but gets taken down by the tower herself. As Vayne and Nami go on to Ashe and pick up that kill. And then in the top lane, Zed went in on Renekton, dropped the ult down, and got him really low, but Renekton looked like he got an out, but then as I look away, Zed somehow managed to finish off that kill and take Renekton down. So, action everywhere, and that is going to be huge. Team, put her in coach.
Yep, this is exactly what you did not want happening, because now the mids are about even, probably. If we can get the streamer to click on the gold mounts, we'd be able to see the gold differences between them. But top lane and bottom lane now are going to start
300
snowballing.
Gold. Ari has about an 11 CS lead on Rise. Of course, they both have the kills, but Ari did pick up the first blood versus Rise, just, you know, the normal
Yeah, so
kill.
300 isn't huge, but it's enough to get you enough pots and wards to survive the lane further
and I
than
mean,
here.
she came back with a needlessly large rod to Rise's tier and Ruby Crystal, so she's going to be doing a lot of damage. And
Yeah, now
also
Ari
for
can bully
14
him out.
seconds.
Let's see, Renekton went the correct build. He got his Giant's Belt and he's getting armor. If he goes straight for a Sunfire cape, even though he's behind, he can still do perfectly fine against Zed, because he can just stack armor and health, and Zed will not be able to kill him. Now, bottom lane,
Renekton,
this is really
plenty of lane
dangerous.
presence, yeah. Vayne is now 6, and neither Zyra nor Ashe are 6, so they don't really have their huge disengage. So if Vayne decides to turn on the ult, just go for it. They could be in trouble, especially with the slow thrown in from Nami. Like giving Vayne a mini red buff, that could be pretty scary.
Oh yeah, they're waiting for a Nami bubble.
Yeah, we have Invade onto red buff. Actually going to be giving across to Zed this time. Once again, they're showing clear control over the buffs. Cho'Gath's sitting in that tripod, but that's warded. They know he's there. Looks like
This would be a free kill on Rise if Jarvan and Zed would go down. That was a free
like
kill, but he didn't do it.
want to maybe pick up Cho'Gath, or no, they're actually just going to go around and get Ari the blue buff, and Zed will take the safe way back to lane. I thought they may have tried to go and cut off that Cho'Gath. They sort of knew where he was, but Renekton and Cho are just going to try to push this tower down, maybe, or push the wave into the tower at the very least.
Kind of very odd they didn't take that chance. They could see every person on the enemy team on the map. They knew there was no surprises waiting for them. They could have gotten one kill either way, either Cho'Gath or mid.
Zyra, yeah. Ari and Zed both have their ults up. Jarvan, I believe, just picked up his ult on blue, so he wouldn't have had his ult up at the time. But I mean, Ari and Zed's plenty of damage.
That's plenty of damage, yeah. Especially with a Rise who went tier first. You don't have any health, so he's gonna drop if Ari lands anything.
It's just actually hurrying Knights up already, so we may see her go pretty hard on Rise soon. With him sitting at just over half health.
Yeah, if she can
And
land that
maybe right now the W came out, but she actually took a lot of damage back from Rise. And we do have Cho'Gath camping in the top bush over here. It is pinked. So they're not really afraid, and then looks like they're going to be... But Jarvan's here as well, so this will not go well. Looks like Nami will be dropped immediately, however. Cho'Gath getting the feast onto that. Jarvan forces the flash out of Ashe. Cho'Gath flashes away as well. Vayne flashes the root, but gets caught in the Cho'Gath Q. And then once again, in the mid lane, while all this is happening, Ari and Rise trade 1 for 1.
That was a good job for purple team. They got away with the kill, and didn't give anything up, and now allowed to catch Ashe back up. Yeah. In middle, even though Ari is getting these kills, evening it out between the Rise. You don't want to trade kills with Rise, because the closer he gets to his critical mass point, yeah, that's just, you don't want to deal with it. He gets way too tanky, and you will not be able to kill him. So I don't really, unless I did not see how many minions were in mid. If Rise is not going to miss a lot of minions from that kill, then that is not worth it. If he's going to lose 2 waves with that, then yes. But if he's not going to miss it, he shouldn't really be trading kills with him because he's not behind NCS. Now, because he got that kill, he has a catalyst, so he's got kind of his core items built already. And you don't want to speed up Ryze's journey to being unstoppable, which he will get eventually. You want to slow that down as much as possible.
Going for the straight death cap rush, which I don't really get that because Ari's more of an assassin, and death cap, like a lot of people, I guess maybe are still under the impression that death cap is like the most damage. Since the reworks a bit, like with season 3, death cap actually is outclassed on a pure damage scale by a lot of other items early. You can pick up a DFG, go for an Abyssal Scepter, something like that. Put up more damage with gold you're putting in.
I think it's part of it is the fact that needlessly large rods are kind of hard to farm up sometimes. At 1600 gold, you have to stay in lane for a long time. So it's kind of the mentality of, if I can get it now, I might as well get it, because there's no telling if I'm gonna, if I get a quadra kill on a team fight, yes, you can buy it. If I stay in lane for 10 minutes straight, yeah, you can get it. But
that's fair.
If you come back to lane and you get ganked and have to go back, you won't have the money for it.
Why not say the DFG? Because the DFG is especially good at Ari. I really like that, one of those 2 items first. And it looks like Cho'Gath is caught up a bit in the jungle. Doesn't look like Ari's interested in ulting for that right away. Ari's having a tough time getting back to lane, but actually Ryze will just back off. He was zoning here, but decides that... And up top, Zed takes down Renekton's basically 1v1. Jarvan has not much of a presence up there, so that's just Renekton losing a lane to someone. Ultimately, I really don't think you should be losing lane to.
Early game.
And there's action in the bot as Ashe goes down, and Zyra could go down here. Will she? Yes, she will. But Cho'Gath shows up. I don't think he'll be able to catch it. He doesn't have flash. The Condemn will go out from Vayne. The bubble just misses, so Cho'Gath will get away, but 2 for 0 in the bot lane as, bot lane just goes down. And one thing I was going to point out earlier is that the CS deficit in the bot lane is just huge. Vayne
That's what happens when Ashe gets behind.
Doubling Ashe. And that 1 kill they did get in that gank, nothing went to Ashe. And we do have action on the top. Renekton's fighting Zed. Flashes over the wall to get the ignite, and the ult comes up from Renekton, but Zed flashes away. Escape the Ryze, looking for Zed, but gonna find him. And looks like they're gonna go back to lane. And blue team did pick up the dragon on the back of the kills in the bot lane. So they are stretching their lead to 3.7k gold.
Blue's in a bad spot right now. Not blue, purple, sorry. With a
Zed
fed
may
Vayne,
get caught out a bit,
not good.
but the charm lands on Ryze from Ahri, but she doesn't have a ton of mana, and Zed's gonna drop. Just like that. Renekton shows up, Cho'Gath shows up, and that's the end of Ryze's story. Zed's story, sorry. This is happy just to farm away in the mid. Ahri sees Ryze pretty low, and looks like she's coming in from the side. She wants to try to get the assassinate onto him, but she doesn't have a lot of mana. Realizes that the Spirit Charm goes, the Spirit Rush goes out, the Fairy Charm goes off, misses, and the flash forward with the Foxfire will land. And that's, and the bot lane, more kills. Nami goes down to the turret, but they already got the double kill. Vayne picking both of those up, going to 5-0. And this game is not looking good for purple.
And this is a problem because now Vayne, since she's fed, she can kill her tank line without any problem. The only way I think they'll be able to win these fights is if you get an Ashe arrow on the Vayne, because she does not have cleanse, and she can pick him off. Because if Vayne stays alive for any amount of time, she will kill anyone at this point. She's way too far ahead, and Ashe is way too far behind.
Are gonna see a lot of money invested into Randuin soon, I think. Just for that Vayne alone.
Yeah, but we should probably see that on Cho'Gath and Renekton.
of course, with that
has been destroyed.
with that percent health true damage, purely stacking health or armor isn't the single most effective way to deal with Vayne. You really need to get those attack speed slows in. And they don't have any of them on the team naturally from, say, a Nunu or a Malphite, so we're going to need to come up from their item in the form of Frozen Heart or Randuin's. Nami laughing up mid. A lot of people just sort of hanging around mid now. Looks like
Yeah, they're all looking
it's
for
route
picks.
time for the
Yeah.
ARAM that we often see in these games. Not much accomplished. People just sort of
See, right
congregate
now,
around mid.
an Ash arrow should be going out right now. Because if you look, there's 5
There
mid
you
and
go.
there's 2 on the
Done
side.
Q. It lands onto Jarvan. Rupture follows up. A lot of damage going out, but don't think of enough. I think Cho'Gath ate a minion. So Renekton is going deep under the tower and will be caught out by Nami, though Nami is not bringing a ton of damage. Vayne is responding now, though, and she is gonna go hard. The ult comes out, she gets caught up in Zyra's ult. Zyra just surviving the Orb of Deception, but decides he wants to kill her. And Cho'Gath just recalling in base. In the... or the... jungle, rather, because words are hard. Ahri will find him, Ahri will kill him. And that's a couple more stacks down for Cho'Gath.
Yeah, that was actually about as good as you can get from the purple side. The only thing they could have done more is Zyra could have been closer for her I forget what it's called, her E, her little snare ability.
Yeah.
But that just shows, they're so far behind that even when they catch somebody, which they landed on their Jarvan, the tanky person, but even so, you should be able to pick somebody off 5v1, but they were not able to do it.
Yeah. Definitely, I think they would have preferred maybe a Nami or an Ahri, but I mean, yeah, they put a lot of damage out. I do believe Cho'Gath ate a minion in that.
No, he ate the Jarvan.
Dive?
It's just that
He
the
did?
level 1 Feast only does like
Alright.
300 damage, so and Jarvan's got a lot of health, so you don't see it that much.
Fair enough. But right now, Ashe is just so far behind Vayne. And I would not be surprised to see, yeah, Vayne is up 3k gold on Ashe. Just that 7.5 to 4.5 gold, so that alone is just making this game really hard for the purple team. Are getting caught out though, really backing in a really greedy place.
Yeah, that's the lazy
There's
backs.
really
You never
no
do lazy
reason
backs.
to be backing there. Was backing on a ward. Got caught out. Vayne going hard onto Ashe. The rupture misses as Vayne does pick up the kill. Now Cho'Gath and Zyra are going to be trying to pick this fight, but Nami shows
I
up
should
with her
not be
own
picking this
ult,
fight.
and that's another kill for Vayne.
Guys, tanks cannot kill AD carries, even when they're not fed. Don't do that. It is good how Renekton is keeping pressure on top lane. He's making Zed come back, so Zed cannot go mid and roam and try to kill Ryze over and over again. That's good plays by him. Because he's not too far behind the Zed, even though he's kill down.
He was 2 levels behind Zed at one point, so he has managed to find the farm to catch up a bit. Even if he's not quite there in terms of gold yet. Largely due to the global gold difference. 3 towers and a dragon down.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
I
a lot
believe
of
2
gold.
dragons now, so...
What Renekton could do right now is he could go farm the golems and let Zed push up and then counter push and keep that going. Because when you're standing behind and your opponent can see you, you're not really doing much if you can't fight him anyway. So instead of that, he could have used that time to go farm the golems, come back, and farm the same wave like he's doing right now.
Zed taking a peek at the red buff, gonna get caught out by Cho'Gath and Ryze. This is gonna be rough for him. They chain the CC pretty well, and that's a dead Zed.
Yep, that's how you do it. And this is what I wanted to see out of this team. Their chain CCs together will not insta-kill them, but will make it to where whoever they pick off cannot move. They cannot do anything, and that's what they need to do. You know, and that wasn't even with the Zyra or the Ashe or the Renekton. That was just 2 characters holding someone in
and
place
as we
for
say,
such a long
Rise
time.
going in on Ahri, doing a lot of damage, and that dead Ahri. I mean, Ahri, no Abyssal Scepter, no Doran's Rings, not a lot of tankiness against this Rise, and Rise just can walk up and destroy you if you have no MR, as we just saw there.
And this is very true.
And all the mobility in the world isn't going to save you if he can pretty much kill you inside the duration of his rune prison.
Now this is the thing that Blue needs to be careful about. They've taken the outer 3 towers, but they're not endangering any objectives. There's no dragon for Purple to worry about. The only thing that's up is Baron. So they're letting the minions push into the purple side of the wave, and they're just farming. They're just farming. Look at Rise now. He has 4 kills. He has, what?
And another catch here onto Nami. He will be going down, but now Vayne and Zed are going in. Zed goes down. Vayne doesn't actually pick up a kill as Cho'Gath escapes with next to no health. And now Rise and Ashe are looking. Oh, Jarvan missing the flag and drag. Though Ahri lands the charm onto Rise. Vayne flashes over the ledge to pick up that kill. So they do trade 1 kill back, but if this keeps, I mean, Blue Team, as you're saying, they
catch up.
They
will.
They had this huge edge, but they're pushing, but they're not really applying pressure equally. So
yeah, they're not respecting the CC that the purple team has, and they're getting caught.
As I say, they were in a position there after that fight, despite losing 2 members, they actually were able to group up and force that mid tower down.
That was mostly of purple team's mistake. They tried to chase. They had 2 free kills, and they could have backed off and went back to farming, and they would have been able to farm for an extra minute or so for free. But instead, they went for more kills, which they should not have done. They got greedy, basically.
Yeah, there has
gave
to be
them more
a
kills on the tower.
huge target on that 8-0 Vayne's head, though. I mean, they're saying, you know, we need to kill her.
Well, yeah, but like,
easier
Vayne will
said
not
than
do
done.
anything by herself.
Yes.
That's the one thing, you know, the Nami was dead, the Zed was dead, and if Vayne comes up to that team, she's going to die pretty much instantly. So she needs her front line, which just consists of 2 assassins and Jarvan. Since 1 assassin was dead, Jarvan was not there. You know, they shouldn't have. And there's no reason to go after. You got your 2 free kills. Sit back, go collect your gold. It would have been a lot better if they would have done that.
Rise will be collecting the blue buff. Blue has a lot of pings down onto Baron. I don't know if they just think they might be doing it or they want to clear it out. They
Looks
do
like
have the
they're pinging
oracles,
the enemy bot lane.
so they may be looking to force this. Right now they're going to clear up the wards and hide around the corner. See if they can't trap someone. They, Cho'Gath and Renekton both stand on top of a ward. And they are just going to start off the Baron. The Rupture comes out so they do know they're doing it.
They have to be very careful with this. They have 2 Blade of the Ruined Kings.
A lot
They
of
can do it
damage
very
though
quick.
with 2 runes dead. It is dead. The Strangle Thorns goes out. Jarvan engages but gets taken down. Ahri goes straight on Ashe and picks up the kill, and in the back lane, Vayne is just doing work, not dying to anyone. Picks up a double kill. She takes down Rise. Now it's just up to chase down Cho'Gath as Zyra gets taken down by Ahri. That is a 4-for-2 trade after picking up Baron. Blue team is in control.
Yeah, see, in that fight, the Zyra did not stay by her AD carry. Now, because of that, the Ahri and the Zed, not Zed, Ahri and who's the other one? Was it Zed that went on Ashe? Yeah, it was Zed. They got free reign on Ashe, and Ashe can do nothing at that point. I think that may have been different if Zyra would have pulled back and protected the AD carry more. But
Definitely Zyra, the best support in the game at defending against those divers, but she's not there to defend against the divers. And those divers are going to have their way with you. Looks like they pretty sure when this dragon's going to come up. Be coming up in a few seconds, I bet. They seem to have blown their cooldowns a bit prematurely.
because what
Now
they
they're
want to
just
do
having a
is,
dance party.
purple team wants to make the blue team fight through their team, kite backwards and kill and CC one person at a time as they go forward. But since the Renekton and Ryze and Cho'Gath all went forward, and the Zyra, there was no back line. There was a front line diving a Vayne which they cannot kill, and Ashe by herself. That's not how you want to play this one.
Yeah, Cho'Gath. I mean, I play a lot of Cho'Gath, so I know but he's really not one of those people who can just dive in and take out a carry. I mean, he really needs to be the one peeling, because the CC is not easy to land on someone running away from you. It's much better, you know, when someone diving on top of you. Yeah, you have that Zyra. You have the volley from the Ashe to, you know, kite back. You're definitely right. I mean, other than Renekton, they really don't have a lot of ability to get onto that Vayne. They really have to work on eliminating those assassins. You know, maybe take out the Jarvan as well, because he'll probably be diving in there. And once they take those 3 down, they can look to take out that Vayne and Nami.
That's exactly. Because with you have an Ashe arrow, you have a Renekton stun, and a Ryze W to grab them. Once they've grabbed them, then they can follow out with the Cho'Gath and the Zyra CC. That's what they want to do. They want to start off with the guaranteed just click and point CC, so there's no way you can miss, and then follow it with the skill shots that are super powerful. So that's what they want to be doing here. But I don't know, the jungler and the top have the dive mentality, which is usually okay, but whenever the Vayne is 10-0, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
If you get 2 of them, they're just going to kill you.
Immediately gets condemned against the wall. Oh, the Zed dives in onto the Ashe. Ashe goes down immediately again. Vayne flashing the Rupture gets the Cho'Gath kill. I can't imagine Zyra's long for this world. She is not ace, coming straight out off of that Ryze pick.
I do believe this is game, blue side.
GG's are coming out. 20 seconds left on Ashe. No way this Nexus is staying up much longer. It will be a win for Put Her In Coach, taking out people and things. I want some real team names. Well played. I mean, you saw the skill there from the people and things. They had their moments where, you know, they got the picks, they chained the CC well, but ultimately, like, the work done in bot lane, you know, almost just by the bot laners themselves. Like, they had some help from Jarvan, but largely it was just straight 2v2, out-CSing, out-pressuring, just forcing Ashe out time and time again. Like, it gave him the huge early CS lead to snowball that into ultimately what turned into a 12-0 Vayne, which...
Yep. We knew that was going to happen eventually, because Vayne will just outscale the Ashe monumentally at a certain point. The only thing I think we could have done different, I believe the Cho'Gath should have started out as a red buff in the first place, and went red, blue, and then ganked bottom. Because you want to get that Ashe ahead, because Ashe is the same way as most AD carries. If she gets ahead, she'll just kill you over and over again, because she may not have the extreme damage, but her perma CC will let you hold someone down to slowly kill them.
Especially with that Zyra, you know, as you said, the arrow to the grasping roots, into the volleys, into the strangle thorns, you know, with the constant slow coming out from Ashe's auto attacks. Not getting away from that. You are going to die no matter how much damage they're actually doing. I mean, they you in 1 second, they can kill you in 10 seconds. It doesn't matter. You're going to die if you get caught in that. So it just didn't come to fruition, because it's just Vayne got to a point where she could just 1v2 bot lane without Nami's help. And that was pretty much it for the game. They got those picks on the other players, I mean...
Yeah, and if you notice...
Yeah, there was...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said you. You!
I was going to say, if you notice, the whole reason that the top and the mid got ahead, because the Jarvan was able to stay up there in the top side of the map the whole time, because the bottom got so ahead. So, I mean, it's not... The game is not 3 isolated lanes. It's whenever the bottom gets really far ahead, that means that your jungler can go help other people. You know, what you do affects the other side of the map.
Even if Vayne doesn't roam up to those lanes, I mean, you know, you can just leave them alone and go bother other people, and then that's always me. You saw Cho'Gath go down bot times, removing pressure from those lanes, and then ultimately dying, you know, after that first time. Like, he came to help, but I think 2 of his deaths or him showing up to help in bot lane and then getting taken down along with the bot lane. So
they could have baited out the engagements on Vayne and Nami. They could have let them gone to them, Ash Arrow, Cho'Gath come in, and CC her long enough to kill. They could have played that little trick several times, but Cho'Gath had to go top a lot because of the 3 solo pressure top side of the map created by Jarvan and Zed. So this game was mostly lost because the bottom and top pretty much lost themselves 1v1 or 2v2, however you want to look at it, and then that allowed the jungler to abuse whatever he wanted. So we'll have to see what happens next game.
I mean, just like the invades aside, like level 1 blue steel from the Ari charm, like that's just absurd.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
And they got their warden. They saw that. I mean, I could sort of see it if she had like Orb of Deception and she was all stealthy about it, but I mean, auto attacked the blue buff while Cho'Gath was doing it before throwing out that charm, and that should have been. I mean, at that point, you just have to smite it, right? I mean.
Yeah, like don't be. Well, he was kind of trying to. I don't want to say greedy, but he was trying to save his smite so he could get a red buff. If you see someone hitting your blue buff, just smite it, man. Like don't wait up for it.
I mean, that's bad. You may risk losing your red, but I mean, especially with a Cho'Gath, I'd rather honestly have that blue buff than that red buff.
Oh yeah.
I just think it really, you need your spells for the early. I mean, once you get a few points at E, you can really clear the jungle without your spells, but. Jungling, it really relies on that Rupture and that Feral Scream, really get those minions out, so yeah, I would say you have to smite it there. I mean, if there's any threat at all to your buff, just smite it, move on to the next, see what happens. But I do have an invite to the next game, and this looks like it will be We Will Get Wrecked versus, I guess the team we just saw. This will be the finals. This is Put Her In Coach. So we'll be seeing Put Her In Coach once again. For, a third time today. We Will Get Wrecked, who have done pretty well so far, obviously. Taking out J55, a team that we actually saw in the first game we watched today, which was pretty strong. So taking them out certainly is no small feat. Now it's just a matter of waiting for Put Her In Coach to show up. Do you remember any IGNs from that last game? I just played and I already forgot them all. Okay, we got... they're asking for the IGNs of... What was the team we just saw? I mean, Put Her In Coach. Was that Nemi?
And Pings and Pinks or something like that.
Was Nami from them? Like N-E-Y-M-E?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, KMP. Yeah, Tiffy. And you think if I've watched them twice already, I'd remember this, but
I'm terrible with names. I never remember. Blue side, we have Nubator. I don't know, a young Minotaur. Wordy kid.
Nubator.
He likes keyboards. Carrot slicer. He likes kitchen utensils.
Likes inefficient keyboards, no less. The QWERTY system.
Kyra. I don't even know. Sorry. And then Linda Chung, the only normal name on there. So congratulations.
That one I think we got. Linda Chung. All right. We'll just call the team Linda Chungs. And then we have This is probably one of the reasons I remember this. We have the AD carry. Nana Hachikyo.
Nana Hachikyo.
Okay, yeah.
I would just call him Nana. It's Nana. There you go.
It's Nana. Nana.
Yep.
I'm
That
12
shit
and
he should
0.
say every time he runs away and doesn't die.
Yeah, every time he goes 12 and 0 on Vayne. No.
Yep.
Anyways, so I guess yeah. 1 second.
A scapegoat. What is that from? Scapegoat. That was a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I remember that. I remember seeing that in old
I
cartoons.
would not remember that. This will be the finals for the $20 RP per person and the Triumphant Rise skin.
Is this going to be a best of 3 or this one game?
This will be a 1 game. We had everyone sign up under the idea that it was the best of 1. We decided that we may want to consider best of 3 for the finals, so we asked. The plan was to ask both teams because they did sign up under a best of 1 format, so we wouldn't want to force them onto a best of 3 if they didn't want it. So we will get wrecked, declined to participate in a best of 3 format. So we're just gonna do the one best of 1.
Fair enough.
So it'll be this game for all the marbles. It should be a good one, hopefully.
That Triumphant Rise skin does look pretty nice. A little old.
Yeah.
It's a
You
old
would
skin.
know
Looks
I
nice.
it, but you do because you
Yeah, I won another tournament, so
Yeah.
I have
you
the skin.
decided to skip our own tournament when you were on my team to go do a whole different one. I guess it worked out. You got your
Yeah,
triumphant
it
rise.
worked out. Yeah, I got free RP, and I don't even remember that, honestly. I don't remember. There was a there a tournament going on that same week?
I don't remember. I
don't think there
I'm
was.
pretty sure we needed you for something. I think.
No, that was before. That was long before that tournament because I had to go out of town and I just didn't have computer available. So somebody
No,
filled in.
I'm gonna pretend you ditched us for a different tournament. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
You're a big meanie pants.
Nana's
You're
body
bald.
is ready, everyone. So everyone else is ready.
Okay, apparently Nubator isn't here. Sadly.
Yeah, Trophy Rise is okay. It's very shiny. He does look like a giant statue. Hope you guys like that skin, whoever wins it.
Apparently, we'll get wrecked as another tournament after this, so that's why they're not interested in the best of 3. Waiting for Nubator once again. So we actually haven't seen we get wrecked so far. We've seen 2 games so far. From I already forgot their name. Put her in, coach. That's why I forgot the name. I just don't like it. It's a terrible name. But yeah, so they've been shown to be pretty strong. They're a big fan of their Nami and the Jarvan, 2 that have been featured in both games. The Vayne coming out really strong for them in the last one. So interested to see what will happen.
Curious if they were able to watch each other's games at all, or if they just going in blind.
Good question. This is where I start playing the Jeopardy music. Of course, I can't actually play audio over Gamebox, so I just do it myself. I am trying to fill time. Alright, that's about enough. I don't think anyone's interested in hearing that whatsoever. So apparently the team that is in a rush is now waiting on one of their players to show up. Yeah, that works out. And we're just sitting here.
Yep.
Maybe start creeping some profiles, see what people have been playing in the past games. So it looks like Miss Linda Chung, I'm assuming that's a female, or it's just a guy with a creepy name, has also been pulling out the Vayne to great effect in the past couple of games. Going 10-2-4 and 9-1-4. We have Kiram, who has been playing, looks like the mid laner, been playing Gragas and Orianna. Again, doing pretty good on those. Obviously, they've played 2 games, both wins, so we'll probably see some pretty good scores. Then we have Carrot Slicer, who appears to be the jungler. Played Zac the first game, and Jarvan the second. So right already, we see a couple picks that could be contested here in the next game. With the Vayne and Jarvan being played by both teams.
Vayne is rather popular right now because of the whole, all the early game AD carries have been nerfed, and all of the divers have been nerfed. That's why you see AP tops a lot. Because there is no one to dive the AD carries anymore. That's why you see Ashe and Vayne a lot more now, because the weaker ones can actually survive.
Guess who the support QWERTY Kid's been playing as well?
What?
Been playing
Hulu?
Nami both games.
Nami?
No, Nami, which is what AMP's been. So that's 3 picks already. That
we have a mirror match, people. We can play a blind pick.
Yeah, we should just
Let them
blind
pick
pick and have them play the same teams against each other. And then in the top lane, it looks like a Jace, which we also saw the first game out of Nemi. But the last game was an Aatrox, something we have not seen so far. So that's a bit different. So at least 3 picks that only one team can get. We got the Nami, we got the Vayne, got the J4. I guess we got the Jace as well. Both teams are interested in picking that up. So, I mean, other than the mid laner who played Orianna and Gragas and then Lux and Ahri, probably won't see, I guess, much fighting there, as far as I can tell. But every other position really looks like they have similar ideas of who they want. Junglers look like they want that Jarvan. Or the Zac. I mean, Carrot Slicer, I believe, was the jungler. Did play that Zac the first time. Did I get that wrong already? No, Carrot Slicer is the jungler. I am correct. Memory is not as terrible as I think it is. So he played the Zac the first game, but then the Jarvan the second. Now, Scapegoat obviously has played Jarvan both of the games we saw so far. Bot lane Linda Chung playing Vayne both games. Nana played Sona the first, but then showed a great Vayne the second. We all got to witness if we're watching the stream. Looks like Nubator is finally back. Team Linda Chung is ready to go. We Will Get Wrecked is the name. That's the one. We Will Get Wrecked is ready to go. Just waiting now on... Oh my lord. Put her in, coach. So, team We Will Get Wrecked first put her in, coach. I'm going to put these to memory eventually.
Write it
On
down.
the last game of
one
the
on either side of
tournament.
you.
Oh, I should just put on the screen. Yeah, you're right. Just like put on my monitor, just like where it would be on like an LCS stream. Tape it up there. Super glue. Alright, what's this? Can I write on this? This is a prescription. I probably shouldn't write on that. Alright, high school report card. That's not useful. That was 5 years ago. I don't have a pen. I give up. We're ready to go. Both teams are good. We are in the champ select. Just give up. I just tore apart my high school report card and don't even have a pen.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The final match of the
Yes!
Serendipity Gaming Tournament. Yeah,
Sponsored by
applause
Game
and
Box.
stuff. You need like a crowd track, you know, with the whole clapping and everyone yelling
Oh
and stuff
wow!
like that.
So I guess Karasok's very confident in his Zac play. Decides to drop out the Jarvan, so they don't want to fight over that. The Orianna goes out against Karam, I believe it was. Thresh goes out as well, and then Blitzcrank. So the hooks are gone for Nautilus, but no one plays him anymore, so he doesn't count.
So we have 2 target bans already from each side, but then we have generic. I don't want to deal with that.
Yep.
type bans.
Neither team has played either Thresh or Blitzcrank, so they're just like, we don't like hooks. Oh,
Yep.
don't play them. Definitely Orianna and Jarvan both very targeted.
I'm curious if these guys have
the Vayne.
team
So
comps
we will
in
be
mind.
seeing
Or they just
new AD
picking-
carry from Linda Chung, and possibly seeing Nana fall back on Tristana, or actually pick up a new AD carry as well. So interested to see what the plan is there with the Vayne coming out and the Jace being dropped out. So still, you have Zac is one. Who are the other ones? Nami is one that's been hotly. Yeah, I'm not
There's the Zac.
surprised at
locked.
all to see the Nami going out, because that's one that
like a comfort
QWERTY Kid
champ for
played
him.
both games. Yeah, and QWERTY Kid played at both games, so taking that away. I mean, KMP's been doing great on Nami, partnered with Nana, so been doing really well in that bot lane.
Evan Nami
But
is very good because she, you know, forms kind of like a Sona work. She can kind of band-aid a lane if it's kind of weak, but she can also snowball one. Very good.
So
at
we'll be
that.
seeing a new champ coming out of Escape, and it will be Maokai. That's almost certainly in the jungle. Can't imagine that's a laning Maokai. So his Jarvan gets banned. He decides to hop onto Maokai. Interested that they didn't maybe pick up someone else that they would have wanted a bit
I'm
more.
surprised
Like,
they didn't pick up the Elise. That's usually a contested ban.
yeah. I guess a lot of those contested bans we were talking about were actually banned out. So, yeah, come to think of it, I guess not really anyone to steal away from the 2 games that I saw, but yeah, I guess Maokai is just someone he's comfortable with. Wants to pick
Yep.
that up now and not show their hand. I guess they're more interested in not showing their hand rather than stealing champs away. Interested to see. So they're gonna have to pick a whole new bot lane. They ran Vayne Nami both games so far. It will look to be a Janna. Will it be the Vigar? Interested to see if that gets locked in. His Gragas is still open. Is the Vigar? The Vigar's locked in, so we'll be seeing a Vigar. Just something I don't get to see very often.
That's interesting. That's kind of that's risky picking that, considering they know that Maokai, who is tremendous early game ganks, is going to be in this game. If they pick a mid with CC, then Maokai will get that mid fed really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and they don't even know who the mid is yet. I mean, Vigar. Oh, Vigar's a placeholder for Elise, I'm being told. So, okay, that's. I'm a bit
Cho'Gath picked up
disappointed.
Mid or top.
I'm a bit disappointed, but yeah, that's true. We have a Cho'Gath being hovered over after the Maokai already. So again, once again, the Vigar's a placeholder for Elise. As sad as I am about that, so it will be Elise, who we were talking about. We're surprised that I should have written it down. The purple team is what I'm going to call them. The purple team didn't pick him up. They picked up Maokai instead.
Okay, so that is Elise on the blue side.
It is
it's not
Elise
Veigar?
instead of Vigar.
Okay.
That's correct. It's going to be a placeholder pick. So the Cho'Gath does get locked in, and then insta-lock Zed, unless that's a placeholder too. Who even knows anymore? But I would assume they wouldn't be using Zed as a placeholder, as he's someone that actually gets picked occasionally. So there is that. Just
A lot
up
of
to
ADs
the
can
80
work
carry
here.
now. Yeah.
I think.
Interested if they pick Ezreal.
I'm
works.
wondering
I
like
mean,
if they pick an Ezreal or Varus or something.
yeah, I mean Ezreal, Janna, was one of those old school lanes back when Ezreal first started getting popular. Basically, the whole idea was you can't gank it. It's just not worth trying. And Maokai is certainly someone who really likes to snowball off those early ganks. So Janna Ezreal going to make it very difficult to do.
So
and
blue side definitely has a
looks like
skirmish
it's going to
team.
be what it is.
Definitely with the Elise and Zed again, double assassins, and Zach is just there to start fights.
Zed in that mid lane with Elise top, and then Zach in the jungle. Still
Really,
not sure where
all
Cho'Gath
three
is
of those
going.
are all
Probably
interchangeable.
top. Yeah,
That's
I
the
guess
strange
Cho'Gath
part.
yeah, that's true. I mean, they can go anywhere, but we have seen Carrot Slicer already on Zach in this tournament. So I'm expecting to go there, and then I'm just sort of guessing mid. Typically, Elise goes top. People prefer top to mid. And I think Zed's really preferred mid to top as well, so... I mean, they could still have picked them and not even know where they're going themselves. Just waiting to see this final pick. Likely going to be... I'm gonna guess Tiffany's mid laner, but it could be mid lane Cho'Gath. Actually, mid lane Cho'Gath is someone I've seen picked deliberately against Zed in the past. Not at the LCS level, but like, high level solo queue and stuff like that.
His bases are very, very
got the
high.
CC, and definitely, I mean, when Zed jumps on you, try to buy. So that will probably be a top lane Vi with actually that mid lane Cho'Gath.
So that's very interesting.
Unless it's also a placeholder pick. I mean, there should be a dodge coming out shortly. There's the dodge, so... I haven't gotten any message saying it's a placeholder. But it could be the... So I guess it might actually be the Vi. Vi I haven't seen in a while. A little bit of banter going up between the teams.
It's okay, Nubitor only slaps twice. He doesn't slap
Only
3 times.
2 times! Alright, so the bands will come out. Aatrox, Ari, Akali bands, Warwick, Aurelia. Oh, they're spelling win.
Yep.
Huh, very clever.
Saw that coming.
Of course, these bans don't mean anything. They're just repicking real quick. Or it should be quick. I don't know. Why are you taking time to pick champions that I picked? I don't know. There we go. Much better purple team. Good job. A round of applause for them. So it looks like it will be in the top lane if they're picking accordingly, but then they could just be picking and pull that last minute swap off. It's not Teemo, so don't waste our time, please. I don't... Okay, there's the Tristana.
Satan is not allowed in this game.
So... Wait. Yes, no. What am I thinking?
Alright, so...
Did they
looking
pick
at this team...
I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, so it will be
They have a
like
lot of
Cho'Gath
catching
mid.
power on purple, definitely.
Yeah.
With a Vi ult and Maokai can catch people very easily. Nami can speed either one of them up, and Cho'Gath can follow up CC and just eat somebody. Because if he's going AP, I'm assuming he's going at least half a AP. Otherwise, I don't see him going mid. If he is going a partial AP, his ultimate is going to hurt a lot. Because I think it has a, I want to say 0.8 ratio or 0.9. It's not quite 1-to-1, but it's pretty high up there.
Yep.
I don't see top lane going well for purple, honestly. There's no way that Vi is going to beat Elise. I think Vi's only option is actually to probably max the E and instant clear the waves and run away. Because I just don't see Elise having any problem dealing with Vi.
I mean, I guess it depends on the cooldowns. Q has a shorter cooldown, I believe, than the cocoon from Elise. So if Vi, baits out that
ranked up,
with 1 Q, like if Vi uses the Q to bait out the cocoon from Elise and then goes in after that, and I mean, when Vi gets right up to your face, she can do a lot of damage. I mean, so can Elise, but I think in a straight up, like actually at melee range fight, I think a Vi can out-trade Elise. But certainly the sustained harass from Elise, and the fact that Vi has no natural sustain whatsoever.
Yeah, no way to deal with harass. She's gonna have to go
She
in
does
a
have like
lot
the little
and fight.
shield from her passive, but that's about it. So, yeah, that's an interesting lane. Not one I've seen before by any means. So
I've actually seen it. I've actually played it. That's why I'm saying like it's.
okay.
I've done this. I've done Elise versus Vi before, and I've done Vi versus Elise when they came out because they were popular at the same time. And it's not really fun for Vi. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's you have to just fight over and over again because if you take one free Q, the
Yeah.
lane's over. So I
And
don't know.
definitely
That's
against a
interesting
jungler
one.
like Zac, constantly fighting is not necessarily something you want to be too interested in, because Zac can pretty much come out of nowhere. Once he gets a few levels in that elastic slingshot, he is coming at you from half a map away.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not really familiar with Zac. I have almost never played him, so I don't know what level he needs to do those jumps over the big ledges to get there, like from top lane, that big old
that's a
chunk
good question.
of terrain.
I don't know the exact numbers either, but yeah, his elastic slingshot just gets longer and longer every time he puts points in that, and the E-Max first is definitely the most common thing you see.
Oh yeah,
from
there's
the
no
Zac,
reason to
though,
max anything else
they
first.
did take the base damage on elastic slingshot down in the last patch. I don't know if that's enough of an aim to actually move people away from maxing
No,
it
it
first.
won't be. You don't play him
But-
for his well, he has decent damage, but you don't play him for his damage. You play him because
Yeah.
he's has an impossible to stop initiation, and his ult gives him so much tenacity that he can't be stopped.
Yeah, that's
No,
true. I mean,
so
there's.
that's
I mean,
not gonna
Zac is pretty much a one-man initiation team.
Yep.
Slingshotting into the team, popping his ult, just bouncing all over the place. And I mean, yeah, these teams both really have those like one-man initiations. Like Vi and Zac themselves can pretty much just plow through a team and get to the person they want to get to. I mean, Zac more like jumps around all over the team, but Vi definitely focuses on that one person, be it the Ezreal or the Zed, maybe, depending on what she's after, but lock that ult in, just charges right through everyone until she finally hits her target. And then they have a bit of they have the follow-up from Maokai, maybe a Nami bubble, so...
I don't think it'll be worth Vi's time to go after Ezreal, considering that the Janna can ult him away, can Q him and W.
I mean-
I don't see that happening.
And by the time Vi lands on Ezreal, he's already arcane shifted away, and she's going to be deep into the team with no one else around.
Exactly.
So...
I think it's going to be a game of catching someone with Maokai and then just unloading CC on that person.
Yeah.
Because it looks like the blue team, because with the Janna passive and the fact that they have double assassins that are amazing at 1v1, and Zac is actually amazing at skirmishes and T-fights, because skirmishes, it doesn't matter if he dies, his passive will let him live.
Definitely.
So they're a very skirmish team. Their team fight's not amazing at all. It's not, they're good for picking people off. Now, Purple Side, on the other hand, they have to me, has a pretty good team fight. Their Maokai and Cho'Gath combination will catch anyone and kill them, and Tristana can just sit back and kill whoever she wants from long range. It's going to be a game of can Tristana stay safe from the two assassins, assuming no one snowballs in this game. If either team snowballs, none of this matters anyway. But we'll see how the lanes go. That's going to be a big thing. Bottom lane, I think Tristana and Nami have the advantage here. With Ezreal and Janna, there's no sustain whatsoever. In a way, he has sustain because he has Janna shields, but not real sustain. He can poke, he can't push. In a straight-up duel, he could beat a Tristana after a few levels. Tristana and Nami, however, have good CC, have a lot of mixed magic damage, which is just OP in lane and early in game. Have lots of kill potential. You're landing a Q, you can jump on them and everything. So this is going to be interesting because lane can go either way. If Ezreal gets a lucky kill early, something like that, then Ezreal is just known for chasing people down and just killing them over and over again. And Janna makes that even easier. Tristana and Nami, though, they have so much burst and so much CC that if they get a kill early, it's gonna be a snowball fest either way. So they have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, the one thing I've found, definitely with Nami, having played her a bit as a support main, is that if she gets ahead in a lane, she's really, really strong. If she gets behind, she's pretty darn weak. So not really not really good
I
at
don't know.
recovering,
Even
but
behind,
very
you can still heal
snowball.
the 80 carry and still CC.
Yeah, I mean, that's true,
It's not
but
bad.
it's just the mana cost and start getting
Yeah,
really
the mana
high.
cost on her
and
W
she-
is very high. Understandably, it is really high because you compare it what it can do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's,
I mean, it hits 3 targets, so that's pretty darn nice.
And yeah, so we are into the game. I mean, the one thing as well, like myself from the purple team, of put her in coach is they have really strong CC in all of their lanes, and a Maokai to gank them. So they could really get off to a strong start early if they really use that Maokai to snowball.
Yeah, if they can use that CC and get ahead early to where the other lanes cannot 1v1 them, that'll be almost game there, because then they can push the towers and force team fights against a team that does not want a team fight. And if you look, one bad thing about Blue's team, especially, if you look, since they don't have team fight, that means they also don't have wave clear. Ezreal does not wave clear. Janna can wave clear okay. Zed can wave clear, but only if he uses a W, which means then he can't get gap close or anything. And, you know, Zach kind of wave clears a little bit. Oh, we got a flash out on Nami, which is so that flash is down.
I missed that.
Yep. She was
She-
planning on a ward and got caught out.
Okay. Blue team running right back in. Oh, standing on top of a ward now.
This
And
is
red
dangerous.
team all sitting in the bush. They may try to go for a fight here, or are they just trying to wait it out?
The level 1 from purple, I believe, is stronger. With the AoE stun,
But you have to.
AoE knock up and everything.
Elise
It's-
already took a cocoon, so you have to be careful about that. If they catch out
Yeah.
one, I mean, Zach doesn't have a spell taken, but his E is also really strong. And those, I mean, that passive that you talked about earlier for skirmish is really strong in level 1 because he can pretty much dive in indiscriminately and not
Yep.
get picked off with the goes dropped into that passive. But looks like no action is going to happen. Blue invaded just to get that one ward in the bush next to Race. In response, purple team dropped down a couple wards to ward up their own red side jungle. And both teams are going to go ahead and start blue.
Yep, now Zach will probably visit bottom lane early, knowing that Nami flashes down. That's what I would do. It'd be a great thing to do, because Jan is good in ganks. Ezreal not as much, but he's still okay, because he has the damage output. But he doesn't have the CC, so the Jan makes up for that. But I would definitely try to get a gank off over there. That way, you can snowball that Ezreal lane, and then that's just bad news for purple. But we'll see how this goes.
By taking that early red pot, definitely looking. I mean, she knows that if she stays in this lane long, Risley, she'll get poked down. So she says, "I'm gonna kill you instead," and we'll see how that works out down the road. So Maokai is picking up his red buff. This is a game where he shockingly, we're not seeing any invades out of a scapegoat. Last 2 games, he's
Well, he was playing a
stolen
bruiser
a
these
few
last
buffs
games.
away,
This time
yeah.
it's double tanks, so tanks usually don't invade.
Nami
because it's
getting
kind of a
immediately
silly
caught out
slap
by Zac. She has no flash, as you mentioned. There's no way she's getting away, and
Yep.
she is dead.
That's
Went
what I
toward
was
the
worried
tri-bush
about.
at the wrong time. You have to know timers on how long it takes to clear the jungle. You need that ward in the tri-bush ahead
Way
of
before
time. So she got caught out. No flash. They knew it. Great job
Yep.
taking advantage of that. And that's the first kill going
you
to
have
Zac.
to assume junglers
No
are going
assist
to
on
be.
Ezreal, but not
That's
the
still a
worst
kill
thing in
for
the
Zac.
world. They still pick up a kill for nothing. So
And it still gets
Well,
Ezreal
Summoner's
ahead because now he
Burst.
gets a free farm.
Yep.
Oh, and top lane we have a fight going. Okay, Elise flashed out, and she should be okay now. But we got the flash
How
out
can
of
I
Elise.
go in or just sort of threaten? Yeah, no to advance down. So just presence seemed to scare Elise enough away, which certainly makes sense. I mean, you don't really want to let Maokai snare you up. So
We
getting a
got
safe
snare on her
flash
because
is
he was
nuts.
sitting in the lane brush. Yeah,
Okay.
it was lane gank, and snared into him, and she had to flash out afterwards. She flashed the ViQ.
Already up.
That
Cooldown
ViQ would
when
have
I
hit.
looked, okay.
Would have been a lot scarier. Now in middle, Cho'Gath is down a little bit of CS, but that's expected. He's not that strong for level 5, but eventually he's going to start picking up, and
Yeah,
he
that's a
won't be
staying
a
passive.
problem.
Oh, he's about to face check of Maokai, but Zac is there, and they go immediately on to Cho'Gath. The ignites go out from both teams. Maokai flashes forward to try to get the last hit on Zed. Oh my god, both laners just getting out. Oh! But Zac tries
canceled
to
his
go
auto
on
attack.
to Cho'Gath. And Zac will get put in passive, and then Zed tries to help him out, and that is going to be devastating as Zed goes down, and this just lets them pick up Zac
Oh
for
my
free.
gosh.
Kill going over to Tiffé on that Cho'Gath. Oh, 2
That's
for
not
0
good.
trade.
See, I think Cho'Gath now. Wait, who killed the Zac? Because whoever they are, I believe they got double buffs. And so that's really bad.
The Zac got Cho'Gath, and actually it looks like the blue buff expired just before he died, so it will only be the red buff.
But still, that's
Yeah,
gonna
so
be
the
really
blue's
nasty,
expired on
because
Malphite
now
too,
whenever
yeah.
Cho'Gath comes back, he can auto-attack trade with the Zed all day long, he's gonna win.
Zed and Cho'Gath both melees, so they're gonna be sitting right on top of each other, trying to farm up. It's definitely gonna be scary for that Zac, or Zed.
That's great, having Zac and Zed in the same game.
Yeah, no, that's really great. Thanks, guys. But Cho'Gath, not surprisingly maxing that Feral Scream first. I think that's pretty standard for the AP Cho'Gath mid.
Yeah, you pretty
You
much
may
always
see-
max the W first. Having the
Sometimes
silence
I see
duration of high.
Vorpal. So yeah, sometimes I see Vorpal spikes in top lane to save mana. But yeah, definitely mid lane.
Yeah,
Feral Scream's pretty standard.
the W is
Once
just overall
again,
better.
Nami caught out putting a ward in Tribush, and bot lane just goes immediately onto Justana. Nami has her flash up this time. Looks like she's just trying to get some distance, or she's just going to walk away, actually. Really good patience not throwing out that flash. Though, Nami getting caught out allowed both Janna and Ezreal to go hard on the Tristana, and she is low in health. But Cho'Gath is now here, or not Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is the mid laner. Maokai's here, help clear out that pink ward. And looks like he's just going to help push up the lane so that bot lane can go back, because they were taken really low. Curious to take a look at this top lane. It's actually really close in CS. Rai hasn't even popped the red pot yet, though of course Maokai did come up, lend a bit of a
Yeah, that
hand.
put her a little bit ahead, so they were actually even. Because, I guess she still has that red pot, so that's nice. She can pop that whenever she needs. If we can get Terminator to click on Vi, I'm curious if she maxed her E first or not. Thinking she did.
She's actually maxing Q.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah. It's 3 points in Q and then 1 itch on everything else. She does have her ult now, so she did pop a red pot in the bush, which means I have to imagine she's looking for that kill now with everything up. Ult
I'm not
up,
sure she'd be able
ignite
to
up.
kill a full health, at least. I'm not really seeing that.
I'm a bit curious as to why she popped that red pot as well, but looks like they may be going for an invade onto blue, but Maokai's at his own blue. So I guess Vi's just going to check it out, see what's up. Pulls Elise away from lane, so I guess that works out okay, but walks back over the ward at the bush. Tells Elise everything's okay, so Elise can go back to farming. Oh, they may actually pass this blue buff off to Elise.
Yep,
Of
that's
course,
the
Zed not
advantage
really
of two
needing
manaless
it.
people.
Yep. Yeah, neither Zac nor Zed really making good use of that blue buff, and Elise getting that, I mean, he'll spam Qs all day long.
So Ezreal is going for that blue build.
Yeah, really even in this bot lane, 53 to 52, though Jan actually 7 CS compared to Nami's 1, so
7 times better.
yeah. You gotta pick it up, Nami. Ezreal going for a bit of trading all in the minion wave. Not working out too hot for him.
Yeah, this is one issue with going with the blue build Ezreal, is that Tristana usually loses lane by a little bit because he's not that strong. But since
I've
since
never
Ezreal
really
in blue
liked-
build, he cannot bully him at all.
I've
And,
never
and the
really
support
liked
choice also.
this like straight hero rush. Like you see a lot of people like double lift, like he'll go Bloodthirster first and then pick up the tier, or you know people used to go that Spirit of the
You
Lizard
can usually
Elder
do that
before
when
it got
you're
nerfed.
ahead because you can just farm with your Q.
Yeah.
You don't really have to fight. But they're not really ahead. You have to be really careful
this is
here.
a lane they still want to try to shut down Tristana a bit, because if Tristana is allowed to farm up, she just goes crazy in the late game. So
Yeah, you don't want to go even with Tristana. You want to beat her. Don't beat her.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That's gonna be nasty later on.
One thought I saw Cutie Pie doing recently is he's with the nerfs to the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, not really too favorable. So to take that
Yeah,
10%
no one's getting that
CR,
anymore.
I'll get that in a second as Zac goes in, gets knocked away with a Buster Shot as Tristana eats the Ezreal ult. And that's going to be it. Good Buster Shot out of Tristana after jumping away. So good disengage there. No Summoners burnt. And
I'm
they're
curious
both
if
just
Tristana's going to go
recall.
for the Blade of the Ruined King, or is he going to skip that and go IE? Because I've seen people do that a different way, and neither is really wrong. Either one works.
Berserker's Greaves.
Okay, so she
Which
wants to be
is
maneuverable.
not typically what you see, but yeah, I mean, I guess the extra move speed to dodge the skill shots out of Ezreal and Janna makes a bit of sense, but that generally lessens your power early. Like, Berserker Greaves don't really give you in lane,
Yeah,
so
not a lot
definitely
of
just
power
looking
in
to farm
lane.
it up. But as I was saying, like, instead of the Lizard Elder, which a lot of people used to go, and obviously it's been nerfed, so it isn't too favorable, he gets the 10% CDR out of a Brutalizer, and then goes into the Black Cleaver. So replaces the Elder Lizard with the Black Cleaver in that build, and that seemed to work really well for him in the game
That's
he
what
played
people
it.
used to do when the Blow Black Cleaver was OP as hell.
Yeah.
Everyone would go that, so it makes
So you
sense.
still
I've
get
done
your
it before.
39% CDR, but
Because the
the
old
only
school
problem
Ezreal
is
build was
it's not
go
a blue build
Brutalizer BT.
anymore. And in the meantime, Red Team just walks up and takes the dragon for
Yeah,
free.
Cho'Gath gives you such good Baron control.
Maokai threw down the smite early, knowing that Cho'Gath would just feast it. But Zed going in hard onto Cho'Gath, Cho'Gath taken pretty low. Zed still has that ult, but throwing it out with Rupture and Feral Scream up, gonna be a problem. And they decide, we're just gonna push this mid turret down. Oh, but Zed just goes right onto Cho'Gath. That probably will be enough. Cho'Gath, no, it won't be. Oh, but Zac flashes, gets the Q, and Zed goes down to the Maokai under the turret. Does Zac have his passive? He does have his passive, but that may not be enough.
Yeah, it won't be, I don't think.
Maokai's red buff just expires, and he's going really low on mana.
That's such bad timing.
Will he be able to get it? Oh, Zac ults away, but Tristana flash buster shots, and this will be a cleanup. There's no way Zac's gonna live here. Maokai picks it up. Maybe wanted to pass it over to Tristana, but kills a kill. 2 for 1 on that really aggressive dive.
Yep.
He
Blue team
will
hasn't
get
had a
wrecked.
diving tower because they've been ahead last 2 games. They have to.
That's
if
true.
They don't realize
The
really quick
scores-
that they can't do that. This
The
one because
scores
they're
I
giving
saw
him
from the
kills.
last 2 games definitely were pretty strong. Oh,
Yep.
Zed actually disconnects.
I assume they'd pause that if it's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Yep. You're a little bit ahead of me because you're watching the stream. I'm watching the stream and you're on the client.
Yeah. That's why you're the analyst.
Yep.
I tell you when to talk. We got a nice pause here on the action in bot lane.
Yep. And since Tristana's flash and ult and well, she doesn't have much mana either. She doesn't have for a W and E.
Ezreal has both his flash and his E up, and he's just gonna E out. But he will get caught by the bubble, and the jump goes out from Tristana, but I can't imagine that they're gonna pick up the kill on Ezreal. But now Janna throwing down a lot of damage on Tristana, top of the minions. The barrier goes out, and they just pick the kill up on Nami instead. So really, yeah, I mean, you're right. They used a lot in that mid lane. The Nami ult, the Tristana ult, the flash. They went really hard, and there's a fight in top lane. Elise going on to Maokai, and the gank picks up the kill onto Maokai. Cho'Gath's gonna try to land the rupture. He does.
Cho'Gath missed his W.
Feral
That's not good.
Scream comes out. And now Zed shows up, and this could be trouble for Cho'Gath, but he will flash out. And just the kill onto Maokai, and everyone else walks away. The Vi's coming, and Elise is back in a bad spot, but she does get away. And now Vi is standing on top of a ward, so probably not much more going to come of that.
It's like
ultimately
Cho'Gath went
bought.
for the Rod of Ages build, which is pretty good, but I personally don't like it because it stalls your power you could have.
I hate it. I think I've talked to you about this before. You know I hate it, but
Yeah,
that's
I
just
personally
personal
don't like Rod of
preference.
Ages on most characters. Very few, I would say, actually get it on. Having to wait 20 minutes for your full power is just, and you pay a lot for mana. You know, it's okay to pay for a lot for mana when you have Archangel Staff because it's the most AP of any item in the game outside of Death Cap, and it gives you that major shield. Rod of Ages, however, has a lot of mana that some characters need, most don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Cho'Gath gets so much health from his feast, and he has so much sustain already that buying more health and more sustain to me is like, why not get something else?
Yeah, I mean, it's
just me.
Whatever, however you want to look at it, because, I mean, if you have sustain, you get more sustain, you're supposed to sustain through everything. But if you already have it, then you don't need to buy it, because then you can buy damage. I don't know, it's however you want to look at that. Now, one thing to notice is that even though it looked like the bottom lane, Tristana and Nami were kind of bullying them a bit, they're actually behind quite a few CS. And that kill that Ezreal got put him ahead to where now it's going to be a
hold on, up top. Elise gets a bit of a tower dive onto Vi, and Vi goes down. I mean, 30 CS behind, I think, as that fight was happening, so certainly Elise a bit ahead in money just from
and
wearing
she had a
Vi
kill.
down. And
that's going to happen. Vi has no defensive items.
Triss gets a kill onto Jano after a Maokai gank. Maokai's just gonna head back up the river, and Zac is here, so they may turn it back around on the Triss. A lot of damage coming out. That elastic slingshot, but Triss will just rocket jump away. It looks like Zed had also roamed down to maybe get involved, but gonna go back to mid as Cho'Gath pushes things up. So this game is pretty close.
Yeah, very, very close. You know, like, they're even kills, but it's the gold difference is because of the lanes. The top, mid, and bottom, all of them are actually beating on the blue side.
Dodging the rupture with that death mark going out, but death mark pops and Cho'Gath still sits at just over half health. So no real
also, the reason I didn't
there.
do much damage because he was chasing him during the time that the death mark on instead of hitting him, so it didn't really do much damage.
I believe the Feral Scream still went off, so not much delays these spells you can cast. But yeah, I mean, Red Team actually picked up the Dragon, which is the only global gold objective that's been taken so far, and they're still just under a K behind in gold purely because of the CS of the lanes. I mean, Maokai's ahead in CS, but Elise is sitting at about 35 CS up. Zed's about 20 CS up on Cho'Gath. Ezreal's 15 CS up on Tristana, and Janna is a mighty 10 CS up on Nami. So
11 times better.
Purely just CS right now is giving them that edge.
Up and
and Nami gets caught again in the river. This is a recurring theme, but Vi is there and will ult onto Janna, and Nami's going very low though. Flash is out. They're still going on to Ezreal. Ezreal will go down to Vi, picking up the double kill as Zac flashes out. And Zed shows up, but will be chased off by the Cho'Gath, so 2 for 0. With Vi picking up both kills on a good roam, but losing the top tower for it. Though they did time it well, they probably knew that Dragon was coming up, having picked up the first time. Told Vi to come down to make that play, and they will secure the Dragon here and still be 300 gold back. But they were about 1k gold back earlier, so they closed the gap by about 700 gold, losing that top tower, but picking up 2 kills in a Dragon. So, pretty good play.
And it's actually a very good play by Vi, because if you think about it, at this point, Vi cannot do anything to Elise. Elise can just kill her anytime she comes in lane. So instead of staying in lane, getting zoned or getting killed or whatever, she decided, well, let's give up the tower and try to make a play bottom, which it worked out. Yep. She got 2 kills from it and the Dragon and evened it up. Now, the problem that's going to arise eventually, and which is why Elise is banned most of the time, is that at this point, Elise has 2 kills. I'm not sure what she's about to buy right now, but
she
Elise
has
pretty much... She could go Zanya's Hourglass. I could see that.
Looks like she will go out. She's at least going to hold on to the arm guard. May not for the Zanya's right away.
I thought she would have gotten a giant spell to get some health, but I mean, you can build just about anything on her.
The typical Elise build is mostly like the energy is Rylai's right away, and then sort of diversify from there. So she may see that. I mean, often you pick up the arm guard, and you don't. The thing with the arm guard is it's just so cost efficient once you get it stacked up. You don't really need to turn into a Zanya's right away. You can just sit on it for a while and just use those. I mean, certainly you can if you want the Zanya's. And Zed goes on to Nami. Nami's probably going to pop here. Actually, no. That not doing that much damage.
You got the Circle of Happiness from Maokai saved her. This is another good reason why I like the Maokai pick, because if you look, they have double assassin. When you have Maokai, when you see the assassin go on your person, you can put the Circle of Happiness on top of your team, and you won't die, and that just saves
Circle of Happiness, also known as the Vengeful Maelstrom.
Yeah, it's the Circle of Happiness. Everyone knows that.
Okay. Alright. For those of you, Maokai's ultimate is one of those definitely underestimated
it's very ballsy
things.
for Vi, going for that buff.
Yeah.
She can get out.
She will just walk out, though. Yeah, she has walked out. Not too interested in that, but yeah. One of those really.
Did Vi max her W second?
She is maxing W second. I was going to comment that. I really thought that after the Q max, it would have been more beneficial to get that E max second, and then just. Because she doesn't want to deal with Elise, so she just wants to shove the lane and leave as fast as possible.
Yeah, that's what I would have said too, because you get better cooldowns and more damage from the E. The W, it is true the attack speed goes up and the percent goes up, but percent abilities generally don't matter until late game because they go from 2 to 3 to 4, and when you're talking about how much health that actually is on people, it's very, very minuscule.
And at this point, I mean, she's a Brutalizer, 2 Doran's Blades, Longsword. She pretty much bursts people down already. Like, it's really once she starts getting tankier, and her damage drops off a bit, that she really needs to worry about that consistent damage coming out.
Now, one good thing about doing that, though, is if she lands a Q, auto, and E, she will get the armor shred, and then she can ult them. That is the one benefit of going W first, because she will get the total armor shred, which is a lot. So maybe that's her thinking behind going that. And I guess she's going to go Cutlass into Blade Rune King, maybe. Do that or BT, one of the two.
On Vi.
It's interesting that
what's his name? Scepter. It could be also a Ravenous Hydra, perhaps, but we'll see.
It's possible. I don't see that. She has such a good wave clear already. I don't think it's needed. One thing that I find kind of interesting here is that Cho'Gath picked up mobility boots. I personally don't really see why, because he's not roaming. He's sitting in mid pushing the wave, so Zed cannot roam.
That's true. I mean, definitely mobility boots give you a huge edge in that roam, but he's not really doing that much. I mean, maybe the mobility boots will see her. No, but she pushed at the tower and now just gonna attack it a bit. Gonna let Zed beat on Cho'Gath. Once again, Zed dodging the rupture with the death mark, but it's really hard to kill that Cho'Gath right now.
Yeah, well, keep chunking him down because Cho'Gath has not built any armor.
We have a kill both top and bot. We're going to focus on bot still because they're still chasing the Nami, but Nami does escape after Tristana gets dropped. I believe by Zac was the one who eventually got the kill. And the top, Maokai ganked Elise and allowed Vi to pick up that kill. As well as the double buffs. I'm not sure. She must have taken red already and then taken the blue away from Elise. That's probably what happened there.
That's one thing you gotta be careful when you're pushing lanes like that and you don't have any wards out, which Elise did not, and they have a Maokai and Vi, you're not getting out. Doesn't matter who you are.
She warded her own jungle. Like, there was a ward around the blue buff. Actually, you know what? They did have pretty decent wards, other than the Tri-Bush, I guess, which is actually around where she died, so...
Yep, exactly where she went.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they have a couple wards on mid, sort of covering his approach from mid. But yeah, if he just walks around through his own jungle in the Tri-Bush...
Oh, never mind. They were going for one, but he's too fast. Yep, in bottom, what happened I thought... I expected to happen this game. Eventually, when the Zac comes in and Janna CC, they could probably kill Tristana. But, you know, that took a while. We have problems top lane. See if Vi can get away. Yeah, she gets away. See, so now the gold is only a 400 difference. This is going to be a close game.
Yeah, Tristana chasing down Janna a bit, but they'll walk off.
Okay, so it looks like Cho'Gath is going for an Abyssal. He's not even worrying about the armor to fight off Zed. The only person he's worried about is the Elise, apparently, from the looks of it. Anyway.
And the Zac to some degree, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, to some degree. Yeah, if you're looking at the team right now, I believe Elise has more of the gold on the blue side's team than anyone else. Maybe Zac has a pretty good chunk.
Right. 500 more on Zed and Ezreal. Zac actually stood in about 1,400 behind both of those laners. First going for another blue dragon, not blue buff. Zac goes for the steal but does not quite get it. The ult goes out Maokai pretty much on his own against 4 members of the team. Vi dives in and gets taken down. Maokai will go down as well. And Elise will not be able to get anyone on that repel. So 2 for Dragon, an okay trade for purple team, but now it gives blue team an advantage to push, probably take down this mid turret. Will pretty much make it a pretty favorable trade for them, unless red team can actually hold it off. And
they're healthy enough to do it, I believe.
They
as
might.
long as Tristana doesn't take a stun. Because you have wave clear from Cho'Gath since he's AP. You can just throw a Q and a W and kill the whole wave.
And they're still looking to pressure it a bit, but
I think Vi needs to get some kind of defensive item very soon. Because
yeah,
right now
she's going
she's
full glass
insta-killed.
cannon, going for that play the Rune King. They do manage to get the tower down, but now they may be caught out a bit. The ult goes out from Janna, possibly a bit prematurely. Rupture lands onto Janna, but Vi goes really aggressive on the Cho'Gath, and that's probably going to be him going down to the Ignite. And it is.
Yep, gotta be
And
careful.
then they start to back off. So this is a greedy back from, that was a greedy back from Nami, but she caught it as Ezreal went in. They may know they're going in for blue here. The cocoon lands from Elise onto the small one. Not sure if we'll see anything come from this. As Vi heads mid to clear waves, Maokai does pick it up. Oh, he's about to face check a bush with an Elise, which is not something you want to do. Gets chunked down to half health, but that's all she wrote in that, so Elise decides not too hungry. Spiders don't typically eat trees.
If you look at the builds, Maokai is going for a more team-oriented build. He has the Lock to the Iron Solari, which is basically replaces the old Bulwark. And then if you look at Zach, he's actually went a Sunfire. He went for a little more damage instead of the team auras, which kind of makes sense with the fact that they don't want a team fight. They want to do skirmishes and everything. Even so, like, I'm not sure if the new Solari is a must-have item, because I know it's supposed to replace the Bulwark, but I really haven't seen. I don't remember if the stats are exactly the same. If they are the same, you still have to buy it.
The major complaint I saw Medios and Lemonation talk about it in that basically it still gives great cost efficiency once. Oh, Vi is dead to Zed up top.
Yep,
you guys just
happens
can't stop fighting for 2 seconds, so I can talk about these items. But anyways, I'm gonna let's see. Okay, they're gonna push down mid a bit, and during the siege, I think we can a little talk. But Medios and Lemonation are both basically saying that. Oh my God, Zed kills another up top at Maokai, and there's a little bit of trades going on mid as the bubble misses. The ult comes out from Ezreal, some poke down, and they're probably gonna take this tower down. So I'm not going to get a chance to talk, though they are going aggressive. The Rupture lands onto Ezreal. The Ignite, the Buster Shot comes out. Elise will be chasing onto Tristana, who will flash away. Looks like Nami might go down to Zac. Elise flashes in for the double kill, turning that fight around. And they're probably going to pick up Cho'Gath here again. Janna picks up that kill, or secures it. And then Elise just pops his Anyas because it's funny.
This, my friends, is why you ban Elise, unless you're planning to really shut her down.
She lasted until basically the 3rd round of picks. She didn't get first pick, didn't get 2nd or 3rd pick. She got 5th picked, it was, or I guess 4th, 5th pick. This
is one reason I did not like the Vi pick. While Vi did okay,
Vi kills Janna, and now Zed goes straight onto her. Drops a lot of damage. Wow, that wasn't even that many spells landing. He basically ulted and then EQ'd.
Yep.
And then left.
And probably the Bork too. Probably activated that.
That's true. I think he did pop the Bork. I think we have a pause. I think we do. I'm gonna try one more time to talk about this locket, and if it doesn't work, then we're done. But Medios. Lemonation, 2 members of Cloud9, the best team in North America at the moment, saying that basically it doesn't have the same personal stats it used to. Its cost efficiency as a team, once you cap it in the auras, is still great, as most aura items are. Like, they're ridiculously cost efficient, but the personal stats make it actually not that interesting for a jungle to build, because if you look at it, it's 300 health, 20 armor, 20 MR, 10% CDR for about 2,500 gold. That's not a ton of tankiness, basically, on a personal basis. So they are saying that it's very likely that we'll see supports pick it up more and more, because with Aegis and Locket wrapped into one item, it cheapens it a lot to get that, and with the personal... And Maokai catches out Janna. This is pretty much finished talking, thank gosh, and she will die. That's pretty much what happened. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's still cost efficient, so the junglers may still buy it. I think it's still something your team should have, but it's whether you want to put it on someone like a jungler who needs to dive in. So, yeah, I definitely think we'll see it more and more on supports.
Yeah, I can see melee supports building that, definitely. And this is kind of interesting. They're actually
Tristana
looking for a fight.
Really aggressive onto Ezreal. Ezreal flashed under the tower with the Maokai, and Maokai is getting torn apart by Elise and Ezreal, and will go down as Zac zones the back line. And in the meantime, Zed is taking out the inhibitor on top lane after taking Vi down. Now Elise is chasing down Cho'Gath and Nami as well. And purple team is looking strong. The ult of Zed will not be enough to take down either of them. But oh, Zed's there though. He'll be enough to take out the Cho'Gath. And they just took a huge lead in this right now.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it was
really
pretty
hard
close
to come
up
back
to
from.
that point, but my lord, that's gonna be 2 inhibitors. A ton of gold shifted to blue team's hands just like that. Basically out of nowhere. It looked like that was going well. I mean,
it was 37,000 to 37,000. Then all of a sudden, blue just skyrocketed.
Yeah, blue. Perp managed to pick off Janna, start a fight, and got that kill. And then they look for more. But in the meantime, it's just Vi tried to duel Zed, and Vi, as we've talked about, no defensive stats whatsoever. Which, she has a 5-0 score, 5-4 score, I should say, but yeah, it's been costing her just getting immediately bursted by Zac. So Zed, so many times. They are rushing this Baron though. Blue did back after pushing.
They may be able to finish it.
They'll probably be able to get this. I don't think Janna will be enough to slow them down.
But Bork and Tristana, as long as she gets some crits.
Yeah,
and they help them out.
It. Cho'Gath pops the ult, so the smite didn't even go off. Janna, trying to keep them in place, will sacrifice her life. Will that work for them as Zac goes in with the ultimate? Elise, Zonya's right in the middle of the fight. And Zed goes hard on Triss will go down. But Maokai picks up the kill on Elise, and Zac may be in trouble here. And Ezreal's chasing down onto Maokai though.
Vi with the
root
Q.
comes out onto Ezreal. Zac takes out Elise. Vi takes down to his passive. Maokai manages to escape from Ezreal. Vi will take down Zac here. But, oh, Zed's at the base again! How does he do this? He was just in a team fight, and he pretty much takes down the Nexus on his own with the minions' help. Oh my gosh, and that's game, just like that. He just snuck in there. He got in the team fight, killed Tristana, got out with a sliver of health, and instead of saying, I should back, I'm in danger, he's like, I'm gonna push down mid and take down the Nexus. Oh, the team fight didn't even matter after that, so, well played, I mean, really tight game.
Until about 25 minutes, and what kept on happening is Maokai would go in, and his team would not be able to follow up, but the one that would follow up would be Vi that would instantly die. And Cho'Gath
what we really saw was, Cho'Gath did a pretty good job of not dying to Zed in lane. I think
not time in
ultimately
lane,
achieved its purpose. Yeah, I'm just saying. But this whole time, Zed was still farming up just fine. We know the whole game we were talking about, the lead was pretty much on CS alone. And then at the end of the game, they had no one who could duel Zed whatsoever. So he was free to split push all day. And yeah, he just destroyed Vi. Like twice, I think. And it was just impossible to deal with him. He was 3,000 gold up on Cho'Gath or Tristana or Vi. no one could deal with him, and then that showed in the took a free inhib as they had the 4v4 in mid and the Zed taking down Vi up top, and then it pretty much that was the end. I mean, they got a pretty good team fight from Purple's perspective, but it didn't matter because Zed just snuck behind them and killed everything. The base. Nexus Turret went down, Nexus went down, and that's game. So it will be... We will get wrecked. Did not get wrecked in this tournament as they take first place prize overall. And that will be $20 to each player, Triumphant Rise. I mean, no shame, though, for... Oh my gosh. What was the team name? The other team. Put her in, coach. You guys need better names. Put her in, coach did really well. We watched 3 whole games by them. And they played really well, ultimately. But second place for them, they don't get the Triumphant Rise. They still get $15 RP each. A pretty good deal.
Yep.
And that ends our tournament. So I'd like to say again, thank you to everyone watching. I saw the chat was very, very active
lively
today in the stream, which is awesome to see. That's great. So thank you guys for showing up. I'd like to shout out to GameVox, our sponsor for the clan, our sponsor for these tournaments. Of course, we have our second 5v5 tournament. This was our first, and it went fairly well. 8 teams is not bad, but, we could probably get bigger, maybe. So spread the word. You guys got teams out there. This will be happening again in 2 weeks' time from today. We're running this again. Up to 32 teams are allowed. Sign your teams up, get your teams together. Pretty decent prizes. And then, of course, we're still going to be doing our 1v1 tournaments every second week as well. So next week, I will not be here, unfortunately, but we will be having the 1v1 tournament for Zoom. Who was the winner last week? Maybe I should remember this stuff. I need, notes and stuff, but...
The 10th.
Yeah, where's my stat guy? No, I know. It's on the 10th, but the winner... I can't remember who the winner was last week, but I'm sure he'll be around to defend his title. Yeah! Maybe he'll be around to defend his title. If not, we'll be looking for a winner once again. Show up. It's $10 RP for the winner of that tournament. No Triumphant Rise, since it's not a sanctioned 5v5 tournament, so I don't think we could finagle Triumphant Rise for that. But still, it's a bunch of fun. And, of course, 5v5's 2 weeks from now. 1v1's next week. Shout out to GameVox for making all this possible. Sponsoring some sweet cash, prizes, sponsoring our site so we can, don't have to pay for it so much. And just being a pretty cool voice chat. Though Miridus isn't a fan. But
my computer's
we'll let
just
Miridus have
old
a
and
pass.
messed up. It's just me. Everyone else is fine with it.
Miridus
For
is
some
just
reason.
grouchy. But thanks to Miridus so much for stopping by to do some showcasting. I said Deus earlier, even though he ditched me twice. Yeah, still did a pretty good job while he was here. And once again, thanks, of course, to SVT Terminator for streaming. I believe you're there. You there, dude? I think that was sort of him. Alright. But, if you have any words, Miridus? Am I alone? Okay! I'm just gonna call it the stream then. Have a good day, everyone. It was a lot of fun once again. Really fun first IV5 tournament. I had a lot of fun casting it. So, good night, everyone. Have a good day.